YouTube now. Thank you. So let's get to the NXT Takeover. I think it had 5 matches total.
Yeah.
Yes, and it started off with the tag team title match. We had the Mustache Mountain versus Zach Gibson and James Drake. This match went for quite a while. I was surprised to see how long it went for.
Like 30 minutes at least.
But a damn good tag team match. I would have to say. I was kind of surprised to see the results of it being Zach Gibson and James Drake winning the tag team titles. But we'll go with you first, Alex, since you're returning onto the show Saturday evening. What did you think of the tag team title match between these two tag teams?
Yeah, I thought it was a great opener. I mean, I think all three of us are fans of Mustache Mountain, and I've been watching like all the NXT UKs, and I like the team of Gibson and Drake, the Grizzled Young Veterans. They had some pretty good chemistry, some really fun spots. I mean, Tyler Bate. I know we talk about Pete Dunne a lot, but Tyler Bate's really great in the ring too. I mean, some of the stuff he does, especially for his height, like it's just he's just so athletic. Um, I love the spot with the suicide dive, like electric chair, like doomsday device thing. That was pretty fun, and I'm glad that the Gibson and Drake won because Mustache Mountain's already established. So build the new guys.
Yeah, and I saw heard a lot on Twitter as well saying that Mustache Mountain are better being the chasers of the titles instead of being the title holders.
For sure.
We'll touch on Tyler Bate in just a minute, but Dave, what did you think of the tag team match as well?
I mean, I know we got to talk about the tag match, but man, first, before I go to the tag match, this crowd brought the energy. Like, this is the difference between hijacking a show and just enjoying the show and being part of the show. I mean, they weren't trying to hijack the show, in my opinion. They were just bringing energy to this match.
Yeah.
And to me, it just really, the show, I'm not saying the whole show was like this, but this match definitely was. Because it had it all. I mean, one of my favorite spots, you talk about the electric chair, but when I think it was Drake who hit that midair drop kick when he was doing the suicide dive when Seven came out, that was awesome. I was like, man, and this match is unbelievable. I mean, it really was. Tyler Bates amazing. Trent Seven got busted open in the match, and I mean, it was just, man, that elbow he took, like, jeez.
Oh, Peckin Rock, you got your gift, dude? Thank God. All right, one of the guys got their gift in the mail. Thank you. All right, Peckin Rod. Woohoo! I'm glad I hear. Let's hoping Jeffrey Cross and Truth and Loyalty get theirs pretty soon. So yeah, that's great, man. I'm glad you got your gift in the mail. Let me know how it is. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Dave. Let's see.
This match. Oh, sorry.
Exactly, not being Deuces just psyched. Dave, it's always like that except Raw and SmackDown UK. UK has the best crowds for any sporting event, says Red Sox fan.
UK was awesome.
Bob Ruski says UK fans just think everything's a soccer event. Yeah, that's what they treated it like tonight. I had no complaints.
I've seen a lot of fans on Twitter like say, what are they saying? Like, I mean, and everyone was getting kind of confused with the shoe thing. Like, what's with these shoes off?
Does anybody actually know what that means? I'm not really sure on the lingo in the UK on what the shoes off means, but yeah, they were doing that.
I know it happens to Gibson all the time. That's all, I know that for sure because it happens to him every time he wrestles. They take their shoes off and stand up and hold them. Disrespect type thing, I'm guessing, but
Bob Ruski wants to know, and if any of us watched the documentary on Nigel after it.
I haven't, but I want to.
I want to. Yeah, that was really good.
I left during the middle of Takeover, watched the rest when I got home, and it was on near the it was like near the end of it when I came home. Looks like it's going to be a pretty emotional documentary, so looking forward to seeing it. And WWE really knocks it out of the park with those documentaries.
Daniel Bryan's on it, Samoa Joe's on it. Like people that like know him since ROH.
I'm just here to have fun, says Adam Bomb.
Cesaro,
get the tables versus Homie the Clown at WrestleMania. We're the same, man. No, we don't wrestle here. We don't fight each other here. You know, only Alex. I know I pay Alex too much to get him in the ring, so it's not worth the risk. Now Tyler Bate, he was a talk on Twitter. There's a little bit of an echo. I'm not sure who it's coming from. Maybe Alex. I'm not sure. Who cares?
No.
Let's just move on. A lot of fans were pushing for Tyler Bate. Even I saw Dave Meltzer even write saying, if this guy is not one of your top baby faces in the next 5 years, then you're just doing something wrong. What is your thoughts on Tyler Bate, Alex, and where do you see him in 2019? Do you still see him stuck in the UK take NXT, or do you think they move him up? If maybe give him a shot on the main roster. What are your thoughts on Tyler Bate?
I think I'd go as far as to say he's probably one of the top 10 workers in wrestling today. I think if you look at like when you think of like well-rounded guys, he's got it all. He's got the athleticism. He could high fly. He could work a stiff match, power game. I mean, obviously his height will always be used against him, but you could build a story out of that. He's shown that he could build up against any guy and look believable. I think he's just getting better and better. He's another one.
Now I'm reading your comments, Adam Bomb. Let's see. Tyler Bate just too fucking short, says Speeds. Yeah, that's another one of the dudes like 22 years old. Yes, he's very young now. You don't see him going anywhere far? Do you think he'll?
I think he'll go to the main roster. I think he'll go to the main NXT and get a run there. I don't think he'll stay on UK for that long.
Yeah, he was super over a lot, and his strength is just unreal. This man is not human. What about you, Dave? What do you think? 2019, you think Tyler Bate stays in the UK, gets moved up?
I think it's similar to what guys talk about going from Japan to WE, because you're working these freaking marathons each night on like 30 minutes, 25-minute matches. You're not going to get that on Raw and SmackDown and the pay-per-views that they do. They don't do that stuff regularly. You know, like we get like in these UK specials or even NXT sometimes when they do those on the regular NXT shows. But and even the NXT shows don't go like this though. I mean, this UK is something completely different. I mean, you don't see these guys going 30 minutes on these takeovers. Like 2 matches going 30 minutes plus on a takeover normally. So, I mean, this is different. And you're going to go from running these classic 30-minute matches like they do in Japan. Not try to compare the two, but the lengths of the matches are very similar. Well, until Wrestle Kingdom, this past one wasn't, but most of the matches are usually pretty long in those marathon matches. You're not going to get that on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, for being only 5 matches, most of the matches went for a good amount of time. I don't think any of them were short. Everyone who had a match tonight or this afternoon got a lot of time. Do you like
these kind of matches?
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, you're not going to see those on Raw and SmackDown.
The only thing I heard not a lot, but some people here and there complain about the length of the main event. That was about it. That's all I really heard. Tony, your favorite Trevor Lee announced he signed with WWE at a CWF show tonight. I don't know if I believe you, Adam Bomb. He could be trolling me, bro. But if he did, celebration time, man. I'm very excited. Hopefully he goes to NXT and moves up from there. All right.
Yeah, but what do you think? Do you guys think that they would continue these type of matches even to Raw or SmackDown? Probably not. And that's why I like these matches.
You won't ever get 30-minute matches. Raw has 30-minute matches, just that 18 minutes are commercials.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. And they're 6-man tags.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, that's a good point. So next we were supposed.
That's why I don't want to see it happen. I think he's going to have a good 2019, but I think he stays. I can see Pete Dunne leave, obviously, but I think Tyler Bate stays.
Once Walter eats Pete Dunne, Pete Dunne's going to NXT.
Eats him. Oh my god! All right, so next I think it was the Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin match.
Or was it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Devlin attacks Banks before the bell, and basically they had a plan B. And the plan B was Finn Balor replaced Travis Banks. And
raise your hand if you thought it was going to be Walter, because I know I did.
Well, once he said Irish.
Yes, he said Irish, King of the Irish.
It you know what? It was that classic, like, you know, like the classic wrestling segment where like someone's in the ring, they're like, and there's no one back there that can stop me, and then hit the music of person who's going to stop him, and then it kind of felt like that. He's like, and then I'm the best Irishman. You're like, wait, what?
We'll get to that comment, Red Sox fan. We'll touch on that at the main event. Now, Finn Balor came out with a huge pop. I mean, this crowd went crazy to see Balor show up to face Devlin. Teacher versus student as well, but I know I've been protesting Balor to 205 Live. I'm going to have to switch my my company up and have him switch to NXT Takeover. Excuse NXT UK. Man, imagine
It could be
Balor
either one.
in
Either
NXT
one.
UK. Whew.
No, I'd rather see Balor in UK. I think that would be an awesome move.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Build UK like
that would probably be his only chance of ever winning the title ever again, the world title. That is. Man, what a match!
He's so happy though and comfortable there because he misses. I'm sure he misses that NXT style because it's just it's not about anything else but the wrestling. And he even said,
this jinx of 2018 seems to be rubbing off very quickly off of Finn Balor because so far in 2019, Finn Balor has had a pretty successful run on Raw and then goes to the NXT UK.
You can't really count that though.
And faces his former student in Devlin in a hell of a match. Finn Balor does go over. Match had a good amount of time. And I have no complaints with this match at all. Finn Balor looked like you said, he looked happy to be there. The crowd was super over for him. Your thoughts, Alex, of this match, and do you think this goes anywhere with Finn Balor, or just was this kind of like a one? I know he was there for the Performance Center opening. I think Charlotte was also there,
that makes no sense.
So
no one gave a shit. Charlotte showed was there.
I think Becky should have been there. I mean, come on, Charlotte.
She's not even British. Her ex-husband was.
Yeah, that makes no damn sense. But what did you think of the match? I'm sure it was just probably a one-off, and then also teacher versus student kind of thing. What did you think of the match?
Yeah, I think it was a cool moment. Definitely. I mean, Balor, like you said, he got like probably the biggest, if not one of the biggest pops of the night. It was a fun match. I like the story of the teacher versus student. I like Jordan Devlin. I don't know how familiar you guys are, but he's pretty impressive. I've seen him in OTT as well, and then he's got a future, and he got hit. He got to look good, but Balor was the star of the whole night, so you knew he was gonna win. But it was a fun match,
and I think it was kind of smart to have that match happen after that tag match. Because that tag match just was amazing, and then you're thinking, okay,
yeah, and I mean,
it's going to be tough to follow that match, and then you get Balor surprise. He wasn't expected to be there. He shows up, the crowd just went crazy, and I think the crowd fed off that the whole match. And
well, they went smart with that too because they showed a video package backstage of him jumping Travis Banks and then coming out and doing it again. And then they had the Johnny Satan them come out, and they did it really slowly.
I mean,
so they were smart about it.
Sucks for Travis Banks that he had to look like a bitch on his takeover debut.
And he's so good too. I like Travis Banks.
Travis is good. Travis is good.
He's like I said that he's like the Gargano of NXT UK. He really is.
Adam Baum says Devlin and Banks will be major stars if handled correctly. Do you guys agree with that?
Well, you're in the wrong company then.
Devlin, I think, could have a good future.
Oh, look at the WWE dropping some super hearts in the chat room. Thank you for that. Funny how every tag matches kills it, but on the main roster in WWE, it's horrible. Well, to be fair, DX, the tag division in the WWE right now is the shits, and it's just not good. And if we saw tag matches like that every now and then, I don't think we'd be complaining as much. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow on the WWE Network for $9.99. Right? Walter eating every. Yep. Yes, Dave, go ahead.
I disagree because I don't think we would because the fans today in the USA they don't seem to like good wrestling. They just don't. They would hate the slow style because they'd say boring.
Oh, you mean like these matches?
Yeah, like the slow style. Even the main event today when they were going slow, I'm like, I love the slow pace.
That's a good point. If we got that type of a main event at a WrestleMania, you think it would get more? Yeah,
the crowd would may hit a volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
I love this style. I love that slow pace style. I didn't need nothing against the spot monkeys like Hardy says, but nothing against them. But man, I really love that slow pace style. But I'm an old school fan, so maybe that's just me. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Alex had to step away for a minute. The WWE style is born. Fair point as well. Since Alex had to step away real quick, I just want to thank you guys real quick again for all the kind donations y'all do with the Super Hearts. Because of the Super Hearts, everybody, and it's because of you guys, we finally are getting shirts made. I already talked to the company that is making them. They have already started on the artwork. They're gonna send me what the finished product will look like, and then we'll go from there. So I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for the kind donations that you've given us on the Super Hearts and on the Patreon and all that stuff. It finally came into play with these T-shirts because they weren't cheap to get them made, and they should be out, hopefully, fingers crossed, by February, excuse me, or hopefully no later than March. Because they have to be shipped here and all that stuff. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick little thank you once again for all the support you have. We will have a Get the Tables rally as well in front of the Jacksonville Stadium. So we hope. I'm just kidding. No.
Do you have the pyros?
Yeah, the pyros. Yeah, yeah, right. So I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for that again, and hopefully you guys will purchase one eventually. If you guys are interested in that, they won't be very expensive.
Oh, by the way, can I just say something real quick?
Go ahead.
If anyone knows how to extract audio from a video, can we please get the tables as a song?
Yes, if anybody knows how to, extract the fans chanting to get the tables, I will, give you, some cash or something for it. Some way. I mean, I would really appreciate you guys if anybody could do that. We would like to have that Get the Tables chant as a theme song some way, somehow. As long as guys start kicking out of finishers towards the matches end, the NXT crowd is happy. Tag crowd is happy. Tony's standing there with bottle rockets. Yeah, there you go. I could do that for you, Alex. When you're coming out, I can have those little bottle rockets and whatever the things that shoot. Well, I can't remember the names.
They weren't bottle rockets. They were sparklers.
Sparklers. There you go. Even better.
The Gilbert entrance. Remember those sparklers on those things?
Oh, thanks, Speeds. I appreciate that. Just hit me up in the direct DMs, man, and I'll definitely fund you for that. I really would appreciate that. All right, so let's go to the no DQ match, which was Eddie Dennis versus Dave Mastiff. The one thing I did like was when Mastiff came out and he did his little thing in the ring, the camera shook. That was cool. I like how they did that.
He does that on the UK show, like when he comes out, like the camera shakes.
I like that, man. Why don't they do that for other people? Like Lars would be perfect for that, or someone huge. Why don't they do that? I like that little touch. It was pretty cool. Since we were touching about the Get the Tables that happened in this match, what did you think of this no disqualification match where Dave Mastiff went over in this match? Alex, we'll go with you first.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw Dave Mastiff, I was just like, okay, it's Otis Dozovich with a British accent. With a British accent. But with that said, though, like
blasphemy.
When you see him with, like you said, the shaky camera, it's all about presentation. So when you see him with the shaky camera, like the gritty feel, like the stiffness, like it's believable that he's a big monster type character. And I mean, I was really impressed with Eddie Dennis tonight. I thought for a guy he's a tall guy, but he's not a jacked. He's very flanky, but he caught Dave Mastiff in midair, did a buckle power, a razor's edge on him. But yeah, it was fun. It was short, and they made the best of the no DQ with the kendo sticks and the cannonball through the table. Mastiff looked stronger with each showing, and it was just a fun match. Just to kind of cool down after, like you said, Balor, and then the tag match, kind of in between the women's title and the main event.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought he looked like Otis, man, because he does look like Otis. I was just waiting for him to do the worm, but yeah, he is impressive, man. And that one spot that they did where he landed on top of the stairs, where it looked like Eddie kind of couldn't get him up there real good, and it looked like he caught the edge at one point. But man, that was a brutal little spot there. What about you, Dave? What'd you think of the match between Eddie Dennis and Dave Mastiff?
I'm a big fan of Dave Mastiff. Because this dude I've seen this match already once before because this happened a few weeks ago on NXT UK. But yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Eddie though because he reminds me of like the Great Khali, not the Great Khali, the other guy, Giant Gonzalez a little bit. The way he's long and lanky a little bit, and it was just I don't know, but I'm not a big fan of his work. But I mean, he'd look good in this match. I got that no DQ. But Dave, to me, he's a star. I mean, that dude is going to be a superstar very soon. I mean, he's going to have a huge either stay there or work somewhere else because man,
they can build him up. They can build him up against Walter.
I mean, yeah, that'd be huge. I mean, that deadlift Kinnison did to Dave. I mean, holy crap! Because that reverse, like a reverse soup, like he just held him there.
That's true.
I was like, holy shit. Yeah, that was like, wow. But Dave, man, I really love that guy. And one thing I hate is Charlotte tweeting during this match. She's like, I shared my Ken. I was like, are you really? Because I'm going to go there. Sorry, all you WE fans. I apologize. But Eddie Edwards started this first. I'm just saying. Eddie Edwards did it first. And now she's like, I named my kendo stick Ken.
Oh, Jesus.
Eddie did it first. It was a good match. It was awesome. It was fun. Yes, sir.
One negative of the TakeOver show, there's too much finisher kickouts. He legitimately shakes the camera.
Wrestling.
I found the new DQ match to be slightly underwhelming. Just felt like it was out of place. Make a 3-man mustache mountain.
I didn't know that this match is even on the card, honestly.
Now here's the thing. Now let's move on to the women's title match because I think I'm gonna have a opinion no one's gonna like, which is Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm. Toni Storm gets the win. I wasn't feeling this match, man. I just didn't think it was that great of a women's match. It had its moments, but it didn't really do anything for me. I'm happy for Toni Storm for winning the NXT champion women's title. I'm glad there was no backlash from all that shit on Twitter. I just didn't really care for the match. It had its moments, but to me it was just not the greatest, and I still feel like Ripley's finisher is still weak as fuck. We were touching on that before the show started. Alex, what did you think of the women's title match and Toni Storm picking up the win?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a fine match. I agree in the sense that it wasn't anything like great, like you said, like nothing like eye blowing. But I had no problem with the match. I'm a big fan of Rhea Ripley, like the stuff she does on Twitter, and I think like she's got so much room to improve. Like she's still a little bit green, but I think she's got a good future. I mean, I'm happy for Toni Storm because I think she's gonna be a huge star. So good moment for her, but I can see why you may have not like thought it was great. But I enjoyed it. I like the little exchange they did at the end. I personally never liked the pump handle slam. I just think it's like the setup's annoying and it just doesn't look effective.
It looks more of a setup move than anything, not a finish.
Yeah, she used to do like a pump handle to a powerbomb. At least that was like cool to look at, but I'm not feeling the Riptide should not look like this.
I don't know what it was. It didn't seem like, you get Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm. You're thinking you're going to get a knockout, drag-out wrestling match between these two ladies, and it just kind of felt sloppy to me. I may be the only one that thinks that, but it just felt a little bit sloppy at times, especially near the end of the match. I didn't like how they kept kicking out of everything. I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm happy for Toni Storm, and I'm sure this feud's going to continue on because she's going to definitely have to get her rematch eventually, but I don't know.
They're not doing rematches anymore, Tony.
Is that in all? Is that in all? Like NXT as well?
Oh no, I don't know if the new era is just for
Raw. But I don't know. It just something was off to me in this match. And Bobarooski says, let's go to the comments before we go to Dave. Yeah, I mean, either, to be honest, says Bobarooski. Cringe says Tony deserved it, though. I'm saying it now. I don't believe the hype in Ripley, Red Sox fan says. Speed says, I bet Twitter loved it because they think Toni Storm is hot. Absolutely. Ripley's finisher is just as bad as Bayley's. DX says,
I disagree.
I feel Toni Storm won because of what happened with her personal life she was dealing with because of what Triple H said in an interview after NXT TakeOver. I didn't see the interview, so that's a possibility. I can absolutely see that. Toni and Ripley's finishers are both trash as Cringe.
Yeah, it's just a butterfly. It's basically Ahmed Johnson's finisher. That's what Tony Storm does.
Storm did her finisher like 4 times. Man, if only Paige was an Ninja match in the match. Yeah, absolutely. What's Ripley's first Was this Ripley's first defense? I think so, right?
No, third.
Third? Okay. Because I know I saw you tweet out saying that a fast title reign, not a long.
Yeah, it was. I mean, she lost the title like boom. She defended against. She won
pretty much a month.
She beat Storm, and then she beat Isla Dawn, and then she beat Deonna Purrazzo, and that was it.
Just a month. That's it.
Damn. All right, Dave, go ahead. What do you think of the women's title match?
I didn't like the setup to the match because they built it up like Tony Storm. I won the Mae Young Classic so I can pick a title shot. I was like, well, you just had a title shot a few weeks ago or a month ago, whatever you want to do it.
You lost.
I'm confused. I know. I'm confused. They're playing it up like this is their first title shot. I'm like, no, it's not. You already had one. So that threw me off right there. I thought the match was good. See, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a knockdown, drag-out match like Tony said he didn't think it was. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I didn't like the fact that Rhea lost so quickly because I felt they were really building her up really well right now. And I'm echoing really bad.
Yeah, I can hear the echo too.
Yeah, and I just looked it up. Rhea's actually younger than Tony, but she's so young, like she can get back in the title hunt.
I know, but
to be a champion at this age is crazy.
I know, but I felt like that she was just starting to get this momentum behind her character. And now they just take it off her. Like Toni Storm was already a star. I'm sorry, she was. Before she came to the WWE, Toni Storm was already a star. I mean, to let Rhea beat her again would have been huge for her career. But I get it. The stuff that happened with Tony, and it's sad and it's terrible, I get that. But, I mean, to me, I agree with whoever said that in the chat. That was probably why they gave her the title.
Jazzy Gilbert and Kaylee Ray were there, yep, and they seem to have signed with NXT UK as well.
I don't know who Kaylee Ray is, but I know.
I think you're echoing, Alex. I don't know if you're wearing headphones or not. Maybe unplug them and plug them back in, possibly.
What is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Me?
No, Alex. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go in the chat as well. You think that's confusing? Look at how ROH is handling their World Championship picture.
Oh man, the ROH has some work to do with AEW.
Oh man,
I just see like this new group with Juice pop up on my Twitter feed. I was like, okay.
Yeah, the echo's gone. That's all I think we needed. Let's see. That's it. Let's move on to the next match, which was the main event. We had Pete Dunne taking on Joe Coffey.
Speaking of sloppy stuff.
Versus NXT for the NXT UK World Championship. Now, to me, this match went way too long. I'm not a
Red Sox fan.
Usually I love long matches, but to me, it was a very slow match. And usually when you have those long matches, they're more entertaining. This match is just too slow for my liking. It wasn't Pete Dunne's best performance, but he does pick up the win. But the talk of the main event and of the night, if it wasn't the tag team title match, and Toni Storm winning the women's UK title, was the debut of Walter, who came out and confronted Pete Dunne after the match. So it looks like we're going to get that match eventually between Pete Dunne and Walter. Go with you, Alex. What did you think of the main event and the debut of Walter?
Yeah, I agree. I thought this match went on way too long. I thought that when it, like, when like the climax of a match hit, like the crowd's going crazy. Like that's like, all right, they've turned into the next gear. I feel like they did it and then slowed down again, and then I was just like, you're losing me a bit. Towards the end, it just got really sloppy. They did that like botch off the top rope, and then they went for it again. And even though I don't even know what they were trying to do, but it just didn't look good. I think they should have just improv'd on the ground there. Like, I don't know, like Dunn just come down and just break his finger or whatever. And I don't really like the whole bend the finger submission as a way to win the title match, because I don't know. I was just expecting like a bitter end or even like the triangle choke. But I mean, it had some fun spots. Definitely. I mean, Joe Coffey like killed Pete Dunne like twice. He power bombed him on the apron. He did I guess the fling off the top rope. But yeah, I think the length of the match definitely took down from him. It was still a pretty good match, but definitely not one of Pete's best.
Now, Red Sox fan has been saying something is missing with Pete Dunne. What are your thoughts on that? I know this guy was the talk of the town in 2018, man. This guy was.
I think one he's another one that you like really like at least in the WWE like like in ring can only get you so far. You have to have a personality, like something to care, like cling on to in terms of if you want to get to like the main roster eventually. Because Pete Dunne, as great as he's been, he's kind of used up. No, yeah, he's kind of used up UK. Like, what else is there for him to do in the UK division NXT? I think he's someone who's big enough who could go to the main NXT brand, and from there, work his way up. He's young.
Get to Dave real quick. 600 days, over 600 days, Pete Dunne has held that UK title. Does that just show you how, they don't have confidence in anyone, or is there just a bigger picture with Pete Dunne?
Well, not anymore.
Walter's going to destroy that, I'm assuming.
I'm pretty sure Walter's going to be the one that takes it from Dunne.
He's bold. He shows no emotion, says Bobaruski, which that is true. He doesn't show any emotion until he's breaking your fingers off. What about you, Dave? What did you think of the main event?
I actually enjoyed this main event. I thought, yes, it was a long match, and yes, it was slow, but I loved that they took like their time going after each other, and I just love that part of it because they didn't go right into it, balls to the walls. They took rest holds. Yes, I don't mind it. I like that stuff. When they're holding, I mean, I don't know. I'm just an old school fan. I like slow wrestling, slow pace. I don't need the fast pace. But yeah, the match went really long, and it seems like when they got to like almost 30 minutes into the match, they were just falling off. And like when Coffey fell off, I mean, like, oh, that looked bad. I was like,
oh.
And then they both fell off at one point. But I'll say this: if Walter didn't come out, I was gonna bitch on Twitter about something. I'm like, come on, Coffey deserved to be the champion. I mean, man, I love this Gallus team. I really do. This team is freaking awesome. I love the theme music. Cool. I mean, they are the best team going on right now. Maybe not next to the other three guys in NXT UK, but man, these guys are so fun. I mean, they're building Coffey up as like this super. He's beating everyone. He's beating Ligero. He was beating what was Travis Banks. I mean, he's just going through these guys like nothing. And then he loses. I thought he was going to beat Pete Dunne, and I thought he should have because I think it was time for Coffey.
There are definitely spots where there was definitely spots where you thought he was going to do like that look where Pete Dunne was like when they were like putting over the like, oh shit, I could lose this.
It was like that John Cena and AJ Styles thing, where John Cena looked at AJ like, oh, I can't beat him, type thing.
Yeah.
And I thought Coffey was about to take it. I was like, yes, and everyone's going to be pissed on Twitter, but I don't care. But to answer your question, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just going to Walter, but what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, to answer people's questions about Pete Dunne, is he missing something? I think he is. I think he's missing that killer instinct again. Like when he first came into the UK division, to that tournament they did to crown a champion.
Yeah.
I mean, he just went straight after his opponent to face for the title or the next day, just beat the crap out of him. I mean, when he went after Bate and he just beat the crap out of him then too, remember that, before his match when he faced him in the finals. I mean, and then they made Bate even bigger star. But it seemed like his year has just been, I don't know. I don't think it's really, I get he's been champion for so long. But if you don't have a show and you're only defending it on maybe some live events and maybe a few takeovers here and there throughout the year, is it really that hard to be champion that long?
Yeah,
fair point.
Walter, really quick. Walter, I thought it was awesome. That was like one of those cool moments.
I love that they kept his original theme music, and yeah, like I said, I mean, Walter's a big grab. I know
And-
Tony hears a lot of hype, but trust me, it's worth it. I think.
Okay, I think I tweeted this out. I think I did anyway. I might have saved it for tonight. I don't know. But this has to happen. I could be wrong. I think this needs to happen. Like, I don't know if he'll come over here, but this needs to happen at like Takeover WrestleMania or something. Not on a UK special down the line. I don't know if he'll do it, but to me, that's like a WrestleMania. Yeah, Walter and Pete Dunne. That needs to be like a WrestleMania takeover.
I agree. I think that would make the most sense too. To have that
Nothing against the UK guys, but that has to be on the biggest stage.
What did you think of the Walter debut?
I thought it was timely. It was perfectly timed. I liked how he came out there, didn't say nothing, knocked the shit out of Coffee.
Kicked Coffee out of the ring.
Yeah, and just kind of just stared at Pete Dunne, basically saying this title's mine. And Red Sox fan says he should be on the main roster. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah,
I think that's inevitable. I mean, Tony, look, he's
6'4".
He's 6'4". That's all you need. That's all it is. And like,
I know, but
Twitter's already put like the WWE Twitter's already like, what the Austrian behemoth is here. Like, they got plans for him. Vince would definitely love that.
But the rumors were that he doesn't want to leave the UK. He just wants to still come over for tours, but he doesn't want to. At least that's what I heard. That he doesn't want to leave.
But you see WWE clamping down on contracts with the European scene. And besides, after a while, like I could see Walter. Hey man, money's seductive.
Can you imagine Walter versus Brock Lesnar?
Well, I mean, Matt Riddle versus Brock is going to happen eventually. So yeah, there's.
I don't even care about that.
Oh, I would.
Red Sox send put 6'4", 330.
Huh?
What?
Walter 6'4", 330.
Yep.
I would rather see Brock Lesnar versus Walter right now. If you could give me that, I don't care if it's.
He's like a Hoff, I don't know if Dave would know, but a Stan Henson type of guy.
Yeah. Stan Hansen, yeah.
Yeah, like just a stiff.
He's just had a kid. He's not leaving the UK, said Bob Arooski. I could see that maybe not anytime.
I can see him dominating NXT UK, but I mean like for the long term because he's a young guy too. So
now, Truth and Loyalty makes kind of a good point. I'm thinking this comments towards Pete Dunne, saying a lot of times you only see that kind of fire in someone when they're chasing the title.
Well, I mean, you could say that about a lot of people too, right? Like AJ, I like AJ the best when he's chasing. I think as champion, the champ that runs the camp, or I forgot whichever one, was fun to see him in ring, but personality-wise,
we're gonna touch on that, Red Sox fan.
Personality-wise, when he's chasing, he's better.
Says money is seductive, but not for the elite, and we'll be touching on that because,
that's true.
Interesting news that came out this week about the elite. So overall, what did you think of the pay-per-view itself, Alex? Between a 1 and a 5, what would you rate this pay-per-view of the first NXT UK?
Yeah, I'd have to give it a 4, honestly. It was good. It was a really fun show. Not like the greatest show of all time, but I mean it just speaks that the future is really looking good for NXT UK. And if you don't watch it, like I would definitely watch it on a regular.
All right. What about you, Dave?
Man, see, I don't really have too many complaints about the show at all. I thought it was good. I mean, no filler matches, no stupid comedy skits like we usually see. So I think I'd give it a 4.5.
Wow. All right. I would give it a 4. It was a pretty entertaining takeover this afternoon. The crowd the energy was just off the chain. The tag match was great. I didn't really care for the women's title match, like I said, but I thought the whole setup and pretty much every match got a good enough time, and it was entertaining in every match, I thought. And then we got Walter at the end. Everybody was kind of expecting that. And
can I ask something really quick? Does this seem like they're kind of – Alex would know this really well, and so would other people in the chat. Does it kind of seem similar to what they're doing in Japan, like how they're doing this show tonight? Like you had these long marathon matches, and then at the very end you have someone show up at the very end to challenge the champion. Would you say that was very New Japan-esque this afternoon, Alex?
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. Yeah, like the marathon matches and then the big challenge.
It's really bothering me that I cannot see anybody who's in the chat room unless they talk or if I see who's on the show. It's really bothering me. Periscope.
That's ball game.
Yeah, Cowboys lose, everybody. All you Cowboys fans, I'm sorry. Tough road, guys. So I apologize for y'all. Hey, at least y'all made the playoffs. So let's go into some wrestling rumors before we touch on Impact Wrestling, which was pretty interesting this past Friday evening. So
you want to do rumors first, then?
Yes, because I want to touch
Impact?
on Impact
Okay.
a little bit. Linked a little bit. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
Alex saw it either. So, hello, Go Home Wrestling Show. Welcome to the show. Then again, this is Get the Tables podcast. We're live every Tuesdays and Saturdays. So we do thank you guys for joining us. We'll be live again on Tuesday, touching on SmackDown Live and Raw. SmackDown Live, they announced already a match between Almas and Rey Mysterio. So that should be a good one. And then on Raw. We also get a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. We got Bobby Lashley,
then we got
Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. So it could be a big opportunity for Bobby Lashley to win his first singles gold since returning to the WWE. Where is this Walter guy from? Where is he from again? He's from Austria. He's a guy that is he's a star in the making. He's already a star.
He's been a star for a while.
So here we go. This was making rounds on Twitter, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have already read it. But the Young Bucks were offered a unique deal from the WWE. Adam Page as well. Excuse me. Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Page turned down the WWE offers in order to be a part of the All Elite Wrestling promotion, headed by Jacksonville Jaguars co-owner Tony Khan. Triple H reportedly had worked hard and offered unique deals in hopes of signing all four, according to everyone's favorite and the bizarre one's favorite as well, Dave Meltzer, in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer. According to Meltzer, everybody, Page's deal was to work NXT for main roster money. Page was to have been pushed as one of the top stars on the brand. WWE had a unique 3-year deal for the Bucks plan, which would have been for the same amount of money as AJ Styles. This deal including having their Being the Elite show airing weekly on the WWE Network. It also had a unique 6-month window that would have allowed them out of their contracts if they weren't happy. They had a 12-hour discussion with Triple H and praised him for how things were being handled. Triple H loved the humor on Being the Elite, reportedly. Wow. So they've, no pun intended, but basically they're going all in on this All Elite Wrestling. They definitely could have went to the WWE and with a very awesome deal there. I don't think they've ever done that for anybody, but this is also WWE probably wanting them to not have All Elite Wrestling open or start. So we'll go with you first, Alex. Your thoughts on this, and do you think it's true?
Yeah, I think at this point, after a while, like it's definitely not hard to believe that WWE's been throwing out crazy offers to the Elite, Omega. That's I could see that. Like I said, I think Hangman Page is definitely someone even before all this like WWE would have had their eyes on. But obviously they're doing things with AEW, and I think we're all hyped to see, especially now you have Pac and in there now, and like you have many more to sign, and they're trying to make this serious. I mean, I'm glad, good for them. It means that that they're definitely being noticed.
What about you, Dave? What do you think about that?
The whole deal, yeah. I mean, what I heard, well, that doesn't surprise me either, because when you listen to what Khan was on X-Pac's podcast this week, and they even asked him about that, what they said they had basically had a blood oath that they were all going to do this. So it doesn't surprise me that was the deal and they turned them down, because they basically had a blood oath that they were going to do this and make this company. All three of them, or I guess four of them, or five, I guess. Never mind, I forgot what page. But five of them all had this whole little agreement that they were going to stick together, and they weren't going to go nowhere. They were all going to do this themselves. So it doesn't surprise me that the W offered that, because, well, Triple H anyway, because he knows what it's going to take to get some of these guys, and I just don't. Yeah, when you have 4 or 5 guys like that who have a made up mind that they're going to stick together and do this, it's going to be interesting.
And they have a billionaire's backing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
and hey,
yeah, their dad. Yeah, it's crazy.
And with the NFL connection, like they can get sponsors like very easily compared to other.
Now here's the funny thing. Bob Ruski just put in the chat room. I heard they're not going to release any talent for a while, so then they don't go to AEW. Yeah, I can see that.
You don't think Nakamura and then we're going to leave then now?
Ty Dillinger, by the way, is not hiding the fact that he wants to leave.
I don't know, man.
Do they offer Nakamura big money just to keep him away from all elite?
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, this is WWE.
Because they're scared. I mean, even Dave Meltzer said that when someone asked him similar questions, that he thinks they would keep even the below mid-carders locked up in big money deals just to keep them away from AEW and become big stars somewhere else.
Well, yeah, it's a war now.
Yeah.
Red Sox fan, I didn't see any Kenny Omega news, so why don't you tell us the news in the chat room if you don't?
I was just going to say about Kenny really quick. That makes me think he's going to go to AEW even more now.
There's no way he goes to the WWE. There's no fucking way.
That was for fun.
Yeah, that was.
He won't be able to do anything he does right now. He can't control his creative, anything. You have to give everything up to Vince McMahon to run everything, change his matches, his moves, and everything.
You think
why would you take the headache?
You think Vince is gonna let him hold hands with Coda? I'm serious. Like creative freedom is like.
Yeah, you think they're gonna be able to kiss on Raw? No.
AJ might switch over to AEW. I doubt it. He turned down a WWE contract, says Autumn Baum. Okay.
I'm not surprised.
Ty will probably just stay there so he sees more of his girlfriend. Who's his girlfriend on in the WWE?
Freaking Royce.
Oh, that's right. That's
Son of a bitch.
That's right.
He might need a break from her though because she's kind of annoying.
I don't think I think he looks over that.
I don't know
how. Meltzer stated Omega already turned down the WWE offer. Okay.
He couldn't get an offer yet, Kenny, since his contract's still up. Or not up yet. How can he get a contract?
I'm sure WWE just said, hey, here's $3 million.
Someone said, I think it's fake, it has to be fake news, but someone said he's offered like $30 million to come there, but I highly doubt it.
That's fake news. Fake news.
I know, but I would not be shocked if it's like, here's $10 million, please come here.
I feel like they would have given him a similar contract like AJ.
Yeah.
The only way I see AJ leave is if he declines the offer. I just feel like he's going to end his career with the WWE.
AJ's set for life. Like he's at the end of his career. He has a contract where he has like he can choose his matches, and he's gonna make like merch money for the rest of his life. He's good.
And the biggest difference is Vince McMahon likes AJ Styles, and that's what's going to change. You never know if Vince is going to like Kenny Omega if he comes there. AJ just happened to win Vince over with his matches and stuff.
WWE doesn't care about potential ramifications of tampering with contracts. Yeah, they don't give a shit. True. So we got some Chris Jericho news to touch on. Chris Jericho is reportedly signed for 3 years. According to Dave Meltzer, Jericho talked with WWE and AEW until the last minute, signing with AEW contract just recently. It came down to AEW offering him a better deal. Jericho will be allowed to work New Japan and his crews, which are stipulated in the contract. So there you go. Jericho is signed on for 3 more years with All Elite.
It's really hard to... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's a surprise because everyone who's on the cruise is basically in All Elite Wrestling. So does it really surprise anybody? I mean, to me, it doesn't. So maybe Khan will be on it next year, too.
Oh, Khan's probably going to sponsor it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's crazy to not consider Jericho a GOAT. Like, look at this guy, like, almost 50, and he's signing with, like, a new company. He was in ECW, CML, AAA, New Japan, WWE,
WCW.
Now WCW. Now he's in AEW. God damn.
And he's one guy everyone thought would never wrestle anywhere else after after the WWE. After he left WCW, that was going to be his final destination.
His resume just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and he kind of touched on WWE superstars jumping ship to All Elite Wrestling, saying, joining the company, I think fans and wrestlers most importantly go, holy shit, this is real. Because if Jericho went there, this is real. Because a lot of people don't know Kenny or Cody or the Young Bucks. We know them, but your average fan doesn't. You're a guy in the WWE making a decent living, but thinks they can do better. Now knows, wow, Jericho can go there. I can go there too.
Did you hear what set up Cody and the Young Bucks being together? Really, is Kevin Owens.
Probably.
Yeah, because Kevin Owens said because Cody was new, so he told the Young Bucks, Cody's a good guy. Go out, stick with you. They told him just hook the Young Bucks up. So
reach out to him, yeah.
Yeah, like, hey, because he knows, yeah. So it's like
if AEW got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn,
can you imagine that? That'd be awesome.
Those are two I can see.
I saw that they showed some clips of them.
They don't hide the fact.
And Owens facing the Young Bucks. Like
they don't
6
hide
years
the
ago.
fact that they don't hide the fact they love Kevin and Sami.
Yeah, that would be an unbelievable match to see now. He keeps himself busy. Jericho can't stop. Yeah, and if everywhere Jericho has gone, Alex saying several companies, he's been successful in every one. So it's hard to say that this man can't be considered one of the top 10 wrestlers of all time. Seriously. Making the money he's made,
I'd agree with the top 10. It's not even about the money for him anymore. He just wants to do something fun.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up with the NWO? What the fuck? They've been long gone for years.
Jericho and Neville need to form a bastard team.
Dave kind of touched on Tony Khan being on Xbox 12360 podcast, and they were touching on possible TV outlets. There's interested parties, and number of interested parties. It's going to be great for everybody. Like I said, I want it to be great for the fans. I want every week, I want people to be excited about what this week is going to bring in wrestling, whether you're a kid in school or you're at work and you want something to look forward to at night. I want it to be a big part of everyone's week. I think for the talent, I just think this is a great opportunity for everybody to create something, like I said, a golden age. For a lot of the talent, I've always heard the story that in WCW that people had said this is the golden age, specifically that Eric Bischoff said to the talent, hey, this is the golden age. Enjoy it while it lasts. And it didn't last. I think we can create and can be sustainable, and we can build something that doesn't have to ever die. It can live forever, because I know the wrestling community will never die as long as the planet is spinning. There's going to be people watching wrestling and people that are passionate about it. Where do you think this company lands? What would be the network? What would be the most successful network to land on? TNT, TBS, WGN? It seems like if they want to,
I think TNT
compete, it would be one of the big ones like TBS or TNT.
I think TNT would be the good move.
I think a broadcast network would be, if they can get on one of those big broadcast networks like SmackDown's going to this fall, that would be even huge.
Wins and losses matter, says Bobaruski. And they've been touched. I know I'm seeing your comments, Adam Bomb, and AEW is looking at getting partnerships with other companies as well.
I think
because he was asked about, because Khan in the same interview was asked, do you want to go out and buy other companies and use their talent? And he said, no, I don't want to go use up other rosters that were already built and use them as mine. I want to build open to partnerships.
I think after the G1 Supercard, I think New Japan's cutting with Ring of Honor, going with AEW.
Man, ROH is in trouble, man. WGN is now off of some providers, so nope. Yep, Bobaruski, WGN is not on my cable provider anymore, so I'm hoping to God that All Elite does not land on WGN.
I think TNT is the best move.
It would be cool just because of the nostalgia feeling for a lot of us older fans. To see wrestling on TNT again, that'd be cool. Tuesday night. It's perfect. The name of the show. Tuesday Night Dynamite on TNT. On TNT.
Yeah, imagine that on TNT.
And then JR opens up.
Yeah, JR news right here. Jim Ross discusses if Kenny Omega is going to All Elite Wrestling. He says he thinks Kenny ends up at AEW with his buddies. Same reason he's comfortable there. He's worked with these guys. He'll have everybody's ear for creative. He'll have a voice, a very prominent voice, especially as it relates to his storylines and his angles. Which, if you go back to the old days in the Booker and the territory, the Bookers always allowed and encouraged, by the way, their top guys to be involved in the booking of their angles, their storylines. Yeah, I just don't see Kenny Omega going to the WWE. The writing's on the wall. Once Jericho went to All Elite, you had to probably assume Kenny Omega is shortly following right behind him. Don't you guys agree?
I just don't. Yeah, I just don't know if TNT is trustworthy though for a wrestling company though. I mean, I don't know. I would love to see it as a fan again, just because I don't know.
Yeah, it's different times now. So
I know, but how they do basketball, the playoffs, and all that, it depends what nights they have like games on like every night during the playoffs. So I mean, if it's Tuesday night Titans or Tuesday night Dynamite,
that'd be good for them as well. Like because during the finals they can get a plug-in feature,
or they'll get preempted. During the NBA playoffs, like TNT or WCW used to get a lot back in the day, where they would get preempted all the time.
Somebody should bring back ECW. That's not going to happen. I saw Kenny Omega going to be a vice president role as well, like the Bucks and Cody. Adam Bomb says, "Thank you, Dave." Like that's why, because I think Adam Bomb wants it on WGN.
I don't.
Funny thing that I saw this news come up on my Twitter feed. And I was talking about it on Tuesday, how I think All Elite or Tony Khan should just buy Impact Wrestling. Should just go up there and buy Impact Wrestling and then merge the two. And then here we go. We get this news that breaks that Jericho tried to break a deal between Khan and Impact Wrestling. According to everyone's favorite, Dave Meltzer, Jericho tried to set up a meeting between Khan and Impact in September. According to the report, Jericho became aware that Khan was trying to enter the wrestling business and had the idea that Khan could buy Impact in order to have an infrastructure and international deals in place. Impact was reportedly willing to talk to Khan, but Khan decided to start his own company rather than buy an existing one. As previously reported, WWE and Impact Wrestling officials met in mid-September. No details about the meeting were given, but Impact officials stressed that the meeting was not about a potential sale of the company or the video library. Impact president Ed Nordum reportedly held a meeting with talent prior to Monday's television taping and once again reiterated that the company was not looking to sell. As fans know, Khan got into the business with Cody, Young Bucks, and to form All Elite Wrestling, with Jericho being their prize free agent signing. Any thoughts on this, Alex? Do you think Impact should sell to All Elite?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it because it'd be good for Impact, but like I said, Impact ROH is one I'm worried about, but Impact I'm really worried about. I know I heard the show was good, but I heard they only did 20,000 views. If you're trying to be a TV deal, that's not good.
Turner's also trying to land the NHL contract. They are trying to revamp the Turner Sports. I want it on FX, if we're being honest, even though Jericho literally talked to people in Anthem regarding the management team of Impact. The talent didn't buy it, I heard, says Bob Aruski. Yeah, I wouldn't blame him. I mean, how can you really trust what Impact says to you nowadays?
No.
They've lied to many wrestlers and fans before. It's kind of hard to believe them when they say stuff like that. Well, what are your thoughts, Dave? You're the big Impact fan. Do you think it'd be a good idea for them to change, or do you think Impact should try to do what they're doing now?
I mean, look, if people are good, talent's going to leave Impact. They're going to get paid bigger money. But I do like I can see, because Don Callis is really good at this, is getting working relationships, whether it means that everyone just leaves Impact and goes there. But, I mean, whatever happens, happens. No matter what happens, however long Impact stays in business or doesn't stay in business, I'm going to watch it and support it until the last episode. So people can keep hating on Impact, but I'm going to watch it no matter what. But
yeah, we're going to touch on Impact in just a few minutes.
Okay. So, but I'm just saying, wouldn't it have been... I believe it, yes. And this was months ago, though. So that's why it's.
Yes, it was. It was back in September. It wasn't any kind, and it wasn't recently or anything like that. But it's just funny that I mentioned it, and then boom, this pops up.
Or even if they wanted to try to become partners with them, which would make sense because they've already announced working relationships with other companies. So, I mean,
especially with Don Callis knowing Cody and having such a close relationship with Kenny Omega. You would think that
Jericho
as well. You would think that eventually Impact will have some type of a crossover. Maybe not so much for All Elite coming to Impact, but more Impact guys going to All Elite and have being in their storylines and stuff like that. You would have to imagine that would help Impact as well.
Yeah,
seeing guys over there, and then maybe fans who've never seen these wrestlers before will jump and watch Impact when it's on Twitch or Pursuit or whatever.
Yeah, but like you guys said, do they want to do this and have working relationships with guys, or do they want to have them exclusive to their own show?
I don't know about it.
The biggest
Adam Bomb.
Like the biggest deal would be, what I hate to say, it would be to buy up everyone's talent and get him on his own show. It would put everyone else out of business, pretty much. I don't know if Khan wants to do that, because when I was watching that interview he did with X-Pac, he came off as a wrestling fan. And he is. He's a big wrestling fan like a lot of us are. He's a lot like us. He's a fan of wrestling. I don't know if he wants to go out and do what Vince did and kill the territory.
Thank you, wrestling.
That's what we're in right now. We're in territories again, in a way. Right now.
Look at Truth and Loyalty saying invasion angle.
Nice.
For what?
For Impact.
Again?
For Impact invasion, maybe invade All Elite.
Hasn't invasion angles been done to death already, though? Can we move on from invasion angles?
It could work if it's done right. Maybe have Cage or someone Killer Cross, the big guns show up. I don't have a problem with that.
I do, because then it would mean Impact's not winning that invasion angle.
Oh, here comes Red Sox fan with the trolling. Also, Chris Jericho also revealed whether or not he talked to Vince McMahon before he signed with All Elite Wrestling. He was on Busted Open Radio this past week. He said a lot of that stuff is private, but I did have a very long conversation with him. He knew what I was doing. It wasn't a surprise. I didn't show up in Jacksonville, and that was it. The bottom line is that the Khan family isn't messing around. They want to make a go at this, and they have a lot of money and they have a lot of capital. So he was obviously offered more from All Elite. So I don't blame him for joining.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the deal, because he can still work with New Japan. He can still do his cruise.
That as well. The added on, the cruise and the New Japan stuff. But he just kind of had to figure that was.
And with him, he's only probably gonna have to work what? As we know right now, only 2 dates this whole year. That's as we know as of right now. For at least the next 6 months, he's only going to have to work 2 shows probably. The next Jacksonville show and the one in May, and that's it. That's a pretty good deal right there.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we'll touch on Impact on Twitch now, because there's the rest of the news I have is based more WWE related, and we could touch on NXT as well. But let's go to Impact Wrestling, because it was their first simulcast from Pursuit onto Twitch. I'm not sure what they topped off on the viewage wise, but I know they hit over 10,000, I believe. And I actually really enjoyed it. I'm not sure how it was on Pursuit, but on Twitch, I really liked how they had it set up to where during commercial breaks, you get old footage of Impact matches. Because Impact could have easily put ads during those commercials and got money off those ads, but instead of getting, showing ads nonstop, they put in footage of old matches. And the chat room was pretty cool too, having the chat room involved, and there was no really any trolling going on. It was a lot of Impact wrestling fans in there.
There was a lot of trolls in that chat. You weren't there too long then.
No, I wasn't. Maybe at the parts that I looked, I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, there was a lot of trolls.
But the matches, well, for the most part, were entertaining. But man, Johnny Nitro, or Impact, whatever the fuck his name is, that opening promo was god awful. That is not his forte. He just needs to be quiet. He just needs to be quiet. It was hard for me to catch up in the chat on Twitch. It was moving so fast and out of control. Yes, I agree on that. It was that chat was moving quite fast. But also, what was crazy was all the subs Impact were getting as well. They were getting quite a bit during the show.
Yeah, you notice they were popping up on the TV if you're trying to watch them on your TV too. Like, oh, thank you for subbing. Thank you for subbing. It's like, okay, I can do without that, but okay.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. And now hopefully maybe down the line, knowing that these are probably pre-recorded for the most part, maybe we get maybe wrestlers involved in the Twitch chat every now and then or something
Yeah,
like that.
I agree.
But what was your thoughts on Impact? We got the match for the main event, which was Nitro taking on. I keep calling him Nitro. Impact taking on Killer Cross. It looks like maybe a possible triple threat with Brian Cage being involved. But the match of the night to me was the Rascals taking on the Lucha Brothers. I said it right. I said their name right, everybody. What did you think of the tag match between the Rascals and the Lucha Brothers? Where the Lucha Brothers win, but what's next for them, honestly? I mean, they already lost their title match against LAX. Maybe they get a rematch, but what's next for these two competitors in Pentagon and Phoenix? What do you think, Dave?
Man, this match was fun. I mean, I don't know what's next for him, but anything. Just you put him in there with anybody because Phoenix, I mean, Pentagon's great too, but Phoenix is, man, he's so fun to watch out there. And this match was so fun. They got like at least 20 minutes out there. And like you were saying, there was no commercial breaks really. You just got all these cool little segments they used to show. Steiner's math in one of the
Steiner math promo was great. Yeah,
and just showing some of these cool moments again too, which I enjoyed it. I enjoyed how they did that, and it fit perfectly with how they did it. And I think it peaked the highest was 11K, which is pretty good for. And I'm curious to see. I know those ratings will come out on Monday. I'm just wondering what they will get out of that show because to me this was the real deal to have is the Twitch deal because they're going to make money off of that just because of subscribers alone. So, and plus now anyone can watch Impact. All you need is internet, and that's it. You can watch Impact and get Twitch. I mean, so that's a big bonus right there.
No, I'm not sure
if Lucha Brothers can do anything.
Saw Impact, Alex, but any thoughts on the Lucha Brothers? What do you think is next for them? Adam Bomb said, slight spoiler, they get a rematch with LAX. But do you think this time, near 2020, or a couple of months from now, those two guys are in All Elite Wrestling?
Yeah, I think by 2020 they won't be in Impact. Definitely, and it's a shame too because like they're so big on Impact and they had so much fun to watching Impact because you're guaranteed like just some wow, amazing like tag team work. Phoenix just blowing your mind on a weekly. This is definitely a match I'm going to try and watch because I like the Radical. Fuck, damn it, Dave. The Rascals. I like the Rascals, and I mean I'm huge on the Lucha Brothers, so yeah, and I'm definitely ready for LAX and Lucha Brothers too. Give me a damn ladder match.
Let's see. Red Sox fan says it seems they're gonna have Killer Cross as the champion, which is the right move. I have no complaints about Killer Cross. I remember I was kind of iffy on him when he first debuted, and I know Alex was telling me, just wait. He has huge potential. He's really good, and man, I don't see any, negatives towards this guy. He can talk. He can move in the ring. He's
believable.
He doesn't seem like when he talks, you believe what he says, and I'm actually curious to see what they actually do with Killer Cross on Impact. Do they
that spot they did in the main event? Holy shit! When Cross like rises from the dead of those chairs and just pops up, that was freaking awesome.
Someone who should leave Impact, especially with the way things are being booked? Brian Cage.
Yes.
Well, his wife or fiance just joined Impact.
They dropped the ball on Brian Cage so hard. I would love to see him in AEW.
Yeah, this dude's the Terminator of Impact, and he can't even beat fucking Johnny Impact. I feel like they dropped the ball, like you said, with him. He should have already been the champion already.
Yeah,
I don't know what they see.
Don't get me wrong.
In Impact.
I like Killer Cross. Oh, they see the closest thing they can to mainstream because he was on Survivor.
So he has that crossover appeal that they think that will build on Impact.
It's the closest thing they have to crossover.
Adam Bomb says he's fucking terrifying. I think he's mentioning Killer Cross. He has that great look with great promos. He stands out. I mean, touching on Killer Cross.
But Cage's fiance, girlfriend, whatever, she's going to be a part of the Mexico team. So she's the new interviewer now. So
let's see. Oh, Go Home Wrestling Show says Goldberg is teasing a big announcement on his Instagram, possible AEW signing. Yeah, that's what we've been hearing, that he's supposedly going to sign with AEW. He's going to kind of have a Brock sort of deal, but he'll be showing up more. I'm not sure the further details on it, but
then how's it a Brock deal if he shows up more?
well, he won't be, won't be on every. I don't know. It was sort of like a Brock deal. He's not going to be in major storylines or anything like that. But do you think that helps All Elite, Alex, with Goldberg signing over?
I mean, it's still, as much as like we talk about, like we rag on Goldberg, it's still like a well-known name. Like if you put Goldberg still in front of like even the Bucks and them, at least more of your everyday people will at least say, "Oh, I think he was a wrestler," because he was
a little super kick nobody.
Yeah.
Do you think this will be the move for like wrestling fans who kind of fell out of the product or were big, huge Goldberg fans and don't watch wrestling anymore? Kind of like what the WWE brought him in to maybe catch those old wrestling fans that stopped watching, and maybe they'll go and watch All Elite because Goldberg's there?
I don't know about that, but I mean, it's curious, right? Because like, what purpose would Goldberg have, like, that they want? I think it's more so, I guess their attempt at trying to just get a big name just to have there, but I don't want to see him in anything serious.
Yeah, seriously. Did anyone tune in to watch Goldberg ever wrestle? I mean, maybe we'll finally get that match that Jericho wanted in WCW. Jericho versus Goldberg.
Oh, jeez. Let's see. I'm glad Billy Gunn is a producer. Tony Impact is working on having shows in Chicago, Philadelphia, and in Winnipeg. They're returning to Toronto as well. Goldberg signs with AEW, leads to a TNT TV deal, says Red Sox fan. He could bring back nostalgia to WCW fans. Goldberg is a draw. Would you agree with that?
People like him, I guess.
Yeah, if people tune in, then it works.
When I think of WCW, I don't think of Goldberg, though.
If they announced Double or Nothing, that I'm not sure if Omega. I think Omega would be able to have signed already by then. Right? But what if they said Omega versus Goldberg, the main event?
Oh my God!
Do you think that would
Goldberg's going to end another Canadian's career? That's what's going to happen.
But if said, I'm sure it will probably wouldn't happen.
You think Goldberg's going to take the one-winged angel? No.
I'm just curious to see what they would do with Goldberg. It seems like this is more of a TV deal kind of thing to have him. He supposedly has some type of relationship with not the owners, but maybe lawyers or something that deal with TNT and TBS. It's a I wouldn't say smart move, but I can understand why they're doing it.
There's only one person I could see that would work with him, though. I mean, it would be, honestly, I just said it jokingly, but Jericho would really be the only one I could see if they did a match with Goldberg. It would be Jericho and Goldberg.
Oh, Jericho had their match backstage already.
I know, I remember
Bob Ruski says he's not jobbing. So you would have to think if he's joining All Elite,
so
he's not lose very many matches.
Here's a question for you guys. Who do you think is going to be the first AEW champion?
I don't want to say it, but I think Cody will be.
Oh, I hope they don't start off like that.
Or the guys who are running it are the champions?
I don't know if they've been hitting. I hope they've been ignoring Jeff Jarrett's calls.
Right.
I don't know. You got Young Bucks booking the matches, apparently. It just seems like they would go all out and have Cody have the title, and then maybe someone eventually.
Well, they even mentioned that Adam Page is going to be probably the world champ, to be the first.
Adam Bomb says MJ. Adam Bomb says MJF. Bob Ruski says Hangman.
I think Pac.
Red Sox fan says Pac. Jody Mania says
Pac's already champion, though.
Let him be multiple champion. He's the king.
Having Goldberg in AEW is the equivalent to Snuka going to ECW when they formed. Yeah, there you go. Just a big name, hopefully to draw more
TV for the team.
Wait, what's Terry Funk doing?
Oh, Jesus Christ! And apparently they're already looking in for Jim Ross to be part of the commentary team. It looks like Conrad. Is Conrad?
I think Conrad's commentary.
but see, they someone said something to him on Twitter and said he has no experience in commentating. So maybe maybe just a affiliate with them. I know he was there for the Riley.
He's just really good friends with Cody.
And he does bring an audience because he could definitely advertise All Elite on the podcast. I mean, it's another.
Which podcast? He has like 20 of them.
That's what I'm saying. On all of them, he can fucking do them on all.
Except the one on the network.
Right, which is probably not going to happen. Yes. Yeah.
Jericho, the minute Jericho showed up, like WWE already put him on the alumni roster.
Truth and Loyalty said Jericho as the first champion in All Elite. So,
hey, it's not Conrad Thompson on the WWE Network.
Going back to Impact Wrestling, and I know Dave watched it on Twitch. Did you feel like it was a little bit more entertaining watching it on Twitch than it's ever been before?
I did, because there was no boring commercials, and I'll admit, maybe it was where it was at. I don't know, but the production, and it looked really good quality from what I was seeing it on my Twitch, better than I see it like on Pop TV or anything else. So it looked good. I mean, I thought it was more entertaining, more fun, and we got how we're not talking about it, but that's the most we've ever seen Scarlett on.
Oh my God!
In a ring.
Oh Jesus Lord, dude!
I mean, thank you, Scott Steiner.
I mean.
Didn't you think we were going to get, when they came out, the Desi Hit Squad, or Daisy Hit Squad, what is it called? The Hit Squad. I thought they were going to do that classic wrestling, the girl's going to strip, and then you have the heels come out and stop her from stripping, and then she goes to the back. I thought we were going to get one of those things again, where it's like, oh, nope, you're not going to get this.
Yeah, but they got to watch out, because I saw Bob Aruski tweeted out, and I laughed when he said this. Twitch has some pretty strict rules on showing skin and all that type of mess. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how far, Impact was supposed to go, a lot more edgier and stuff like that. Well, I'm curious to see how edgy they go with the women, because they have some pretty, strict rules when it comes to that. So I don't know if Impact maybe talk to Twitch before they actually.
Nope, I'm telling you, Don Callis is going to book himself making out with Scarlett, just like Vince and Tori.
Honestly, they're verified partners, so I'm sure they knew what was coming. They're simulcasting a TV show onto a streaming service, so I don't think they care.
Well, I didn't even think about that until I saw Bob Ruski tweet it. I was like, oh, that's funny, because it's so true. Again, thank you everybody for joining us. We've already hit 2,700 viewers so far tonight. Thank you very much for that, and thank you for all the interaction in the chat room.
You watched it.
I enjoyed it. Like I said, I thought this was the most entertaining Impact in ways where there's no commercials. We got old clips of footage of Impact. No, like I said, I tweeted out props to Impact Wrestling, because they could have easily inserted ads during those whole commercial breaks, but instead of that,
even during the whole show,
they could have cut through the show.
Not a subscriber,
exactly.
You get those ads normally,
and I only got one ad, and that's when I first popped into the show. That was it.
You know what I was gonna tweet out, but I didn't. I was gonna say I'm enjoying this Nakamura and Skipper match more than I am Killer Kross and Johnny Impact. I was just because they showed those old explosion clips and in gems. So we had Nakamura versus Skipper. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Just seeing those matches, it's like, wow, this is cool. Because you're actually getting full matches almost during these breaks. Like, how long are these commercial breaks over on Pursuit? Jeez.
No, why would anyone watch it on Pursuit? Wouldn't you rather have watched old clips than watching fucking regular ass commercials? Probably hunting commercials, I would assume. I don't know what they fucking show on Pursuit, but I'd rather see that of old clips than seeing stupid commercials. But for the most part, I thought it was good. I got 6 ads when I first logged in. What the fuck? I only got 1 the whole night.
I got 0.
Really? See, there you go. I got 1 ad when I first popped in, and that was it. I didn't have any issues after that. But good luck to Impact. I hope they do pretty good on Twitch.
I wonder how many ads they have.
The big question is how they continue on Twitch. Do they continue to get 10,000 viewers every week?
Or go more? Do they get more?
I don't think they're going to hit a And I know you wanted saying that maybe they should have started at an earlier time, but where they're at right now is a perfect time on Twitch because not a lot of the big streamers are live at that time. They have a good time to where there's not very many people on at that moment. But like I said, it's Impact Wrestling. It's see how they are on a consistent basis. They hit 10,000 viewers on every weekly basis. I don't see that being an issue. It's just the subscribers too.
Yeah, I wonder how many subscribers they got through that. And one thing, and they didn't really do. I'm not saying they did a poor job advertising it, but they didn't have any. Like next week, there's not really a big key match either, except I think maybe Swan versus one of the Rascals.
Oh, yes. Right? Oh, DX says one of the ads took about 10 minutes. Holy moly.
Oh, I didn't have that in me, but then you better subscribe for your $5. $6 to subscribe, that's not that much.
Oh,
but
so
Tony, you were having that issue where you said the GWN network wasn't worth $8 to watch Impact Weekly if they did that. Now, do you think $6 is worth for the Twitch stream?
I still wouldn't sub. I would sub to them just to support them. I wouldn't sub to it if I had to. If I had to pay to watch Impact, I wouldn't do it. But to just kind of hope, to keep them going, I would do that. With how Twitch is, they can get on the front page and it'll boost. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got front page. If Twitch was kind enough to put them on the front page, then I think they would get a lot of viewers. But they're hidden with all these big streamers streaming.
I didn't think about the Twitchers, the streamers who go on there with those big views.
Yeah.
I was thinking more about the primetime spot because it's like people are saying, 10 o'clock on a Friday night is a terrible time, I presume. So I was thinking, if it aired at 8 o'clock, maybe they would have done better at 8 o'clock on a Friday night compared to doing it on Twitch. So I don't know. So at least 10,000 for 10 o'clock at night, that's pretty good. Whether that is still what they hit next week or the week after, but I think they need to, if they promote a world title match, on the show coming up on Twitch, I think that was when you draw some viewers. And it did peak to about 11K when Scarlett was out there stripping, so that could be a weekly thing too.
Did anybody else experience lag while watching Impact last night? I had no lag.
I didn't. I had no problem.
It's Swan versus Miguel next week. Do you think the Twitch and Pursuit deal is till they land a better network? Yes.
I hope. I think this is the best way to do it, honestly.
What about you, Alex? Do you think they continue to simulcast if they move to a bigger network?
Oh, no.
I don't think so.
Well, I think it's good for other fans who don't get, Pursuit. A lot of people don't. But this is a perfect network. I think they can still keep their U.S. deals for international deals as well, too. So that still gets them money overseas. And then over on Twitch, they're getting bonus money from Twitch.
All right. So overall, Impact was pretty entertaining. And then we get Scarlett announcing who she's going to be, I guess, managing next week as well. But at 8, you could still have a big stream. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That where they're at now on Twitch is perfect. I wouldn't move them. And like you said, 10,000 for the first night is pretty good. The big question is what they get next Friday night. So let's move on to some NXT news because it looks like the TakeOver card is starting to wrap up a little bit with another match pretty much announced. Well, not announced, but it looks like it's going to happen, which is Johnny Gargano taking on Ricochet for the North American title. Now, talk about a dandy of a match that's going to be. Your thoughts on this, Alex? And have they hyped up this big NXT TakeOver card enough in your opinion?
It feels like it kind of feels like it's just been going long term, and before you know it, you're like, oh shit, TakeOver's in 2 weeks. So definitely not the strongest build as before, but definitely Gargano versus Ricochet is just on paper holy shit, that's gonna be great. Black and Ciampa, it's kind of been so everything's kind of been overtaken by Ciampa and Gargano that you kind of forget Black is in all this. And I think that's going to be a good match as well. I think that's Black's farewell match. I could see him going to the Rumble the next night, but yeah, no. TakeOver is still, I believe, is going to knock it out of the park, and I mean, I'm looking forward to Bianca versus Baszler.
Now, speaking of Bianca Belair versus Baszler, she faced Nikki Cross on the TV taping. It's been the same guys on NXT card for like three straight takeovers.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Now, yes, bless you. Now she was getting overrated and undefeated chance during the whole match.
Hey man,
Here's the question for you, Dave and Alex. Is Baszler gonna be the face? Meaning, does the crowd cheer more for her at Takeover than Belair, or do you think it's going to be the opposite, where the fans will be behind Belair? What do you think, Alex?
I think at first Bianca is going to get booed, and I think through what she match goes, she's going to win over the crowd. I think she's going to have a dream moment.
See, $20 says Gargano challenges Ciampa at Takeover New York. Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's that's going
title for title
for WrestleMania.
It's time for an NXT shakeup, says Bob Ruski. I think it's more of them need, yeah, that too, and I think they need to start pushing more guys. Like, what the fuck is
our show?
Well, I mean, well, it's time for new guys to get into the title picture. You know
and
why?
That's why I think with the main event.
That's why I think Gargano and Ciampa is ending at WrestleMania.
You know, you got Riddle still there. You got
Keith Lee. You have all these guys.
You have all these guys joining NXT, and they're just not doing shit. I mean, there's a chance Riddle might not even be on this card
again.
So it's like they're pushing the same, and I
hope to God it's not Cassius Ohno versus Riddle again.
Right, and I agree with Bob Ruski. With Red Sox fan, who are Red Sox fan, and I rarely agree on anything. Where it has been the same guys the last couple of months: Aleister Black, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and now finally Gargano's looking at someone else now. But it seems like Ciampa hasn't had a fresh feud yet. He hasn't faced anybody new. He hasn't faced Riddle. He hasn't faced Keith Lee. Hasn't faced like Adam Cole or any of those type of guys. It seems like he's stuck with the same two guys on NXT. Don't
Cole's
you guys
another guy they're not doing much with either. Yeah, like there's so much space for other guys to move up. Same thing with the tag division. I mean, I love the Undisputed Era, but it's time for the War Raiders to win because what else is there to do? It's cool. But
Dijak's another one. Yes, Red Sox fan mentioned. Let's see. I think NXT has forgotten what it was with development, so they won't get DX so they won't get cheered. They will either get booed or don't care. He's talking about Baszler and Bianca Belair, and you want people to join the company where they'll have nothing for them. Adam Bomb says Ciampa has cooled off. I agree with you on that. He's definitely cooled off a lot. What do you think? They need to do an NXT shakeup? Time to. I know EC3's gone. You got Lars Sullivan gone. You got Heavy Machinery gone. And then Lacey Evans. So it's not a huge loss, but it seems like we just mentioned, it seems like it's the same people over and over and over on these NXT takeover cards. What do you think NXT needs to do, Alex, to kind of get back to what they were a couple of months ago?
I think you need to
Dream either as well.
I think you need to call some people up. I think Black should go after this takeover at Royal Rumble. I think they should send up Baszler after, depending when she loses. I definitely think Gargano and Ciampa should end at WrestleMania, like get their final match, whatever, end the feud, and then move forward for them. So yeah, I definitely think you need to get some people, definitely like Black out of the main event picture, and you can get like Baszler out so you can free up the women's division, and get some more, build up some more tag teams like Marcel Barthel and Fabian Eichner. Like they're not doing anything, but you could build them up. It's something.
Red Sox fan says NXT doesn't have a clear flagship guy. For fuck's sakes, Ono has been stuck there for 2 to 3 years. Bob Ruski says, doesn't this NXT storyline stuff sound an awful lot like WWE storyline issues? Same. WWE women's division and tag division has no depth at all. Truth and Loyalty says Triple H only promised new matches for Raw and SmackDown. He didn't say jack about NXT. That is true. Now, what about you, Dave? What do you think? Are you kind of tired of the same shit going on NXT?
I mean, Am I answering about this stuff or about the Bianca Belair stuff?
Anything, both, all. I mean,
Okay.
whatever.
I do think Bianca is overrated, so that works. And I think she's gonna get choked out by her own hair because that should be legal because she whips people with her hair, so she should get choked out by her own hair. So yeah, I think Baszler beats her easily. So yeah, I think Bianca's way overrated. So good job NXT. And yeah, NXT. We've been talking about this for a while though, Tony. That NXT seems more and more like the main roster crap. I mean, to me, NXT UK is the shit right now. It's the best thing going. Yeah. Sorry.
And also, I was just gonna say, also NXT definitely needs more than an hour when they go to FS1.
Yeah, because in all honesty, an hour does hurt other
building everyone else.
I agree. Yeah, and I never was a big.
When's the last time we've seen Keith Lee actually in the ring? It's like every 3 weeks, and if you're trying to build someone, every 3 weeks doesn't really do it.
They just had Lars Sullivan squash. I mean, it's not really squash, but
last time Keith Lee was on, he lost to Lars.
Adam Bomb says, perhaps we need to be honest, NXT has no clue where they go at this point. It's not developmental.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of guys who they don't have no room for. They don't know what they're doing. They're just kind of floundering in NXT. And I'll give some Fabian Eichner. I had no clue about the guy until I started watching this UK because I hadn't seen him wrestle at all. NXT UK, he's been wrestling. I've been watching him wrestle, and man, this guy is really good. I mean, Fabian, and then they teamed up with this other guy. Like, holy shit, these guys are good.
Marcel Barthels was in a stable with Walter, so they're gonna form up again. Yeah.
So I mean, this Fabian Eichner guy is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard that he won the Evolve title.
Yeah.
But I didn't know who the guy was when I heard about that. And now that I've been watching him wrestle on UK and now NXT again, so
I mean, Evolve's become NXT's NXT, so they're definitely going to take some people. Like their current champion, Austin Theory, is definitely someone they're going to get. WWE's going to want to grab.
DX has a good question in the chat room saying, if Bianca wasn't undefeated, would she be considered overrated?
She's overrated and she's still undefeated.
Well, yeah, I think everyone's going to give the term because she's getting pushed so strong, like so quickly.
Bobaruski says less and less developmental. You have guys on the PC and NXT who need that show and character exposure. Yes, I agree. And it seems like. Real. Go ahead.
Let's be real. NXT is only being used to basically take every big indie star.
Pretty much.
That's all it's for now. Yeah, we're just trying to keep them away from everywhere else.
Expanding NXT is to swallow talent from.
I mean, look at what NXT UK is. Even NXT UK, like they have, WWE has pretty much has their hands on progress. With Walter sign, and I saw WXW, the Germany Federation. Their Twitter, they retweeted WWE the takeover tonight, so WWE has their hands on that federation too. So they're taking up the rest of the world like through their own way.
Yeah, it's
and they're doing it in the form of we're putting a performance center. We're going to give you guys a show, aka your contracts are mine.
Yeah, because that's all they're doing. They're just NXT. It's not developed. It's not Florida Championship Wrestling where they're just trying to build up their own talent. They're trying to steal talent already made and try to keep their shows going, and that's what they're doing. They're taking all the big stars, and now AEW is going to be fighting them. These NXT shows.
Now, here's a question, because y'all guys know more about the indie scene than me, Alex, Dave, in the chat room. Who's the next big signee out there that All Elite or WWE will go after?
There's only one.
I know it's Omega at the moment, but who else? Who else is another? Maybe a guy that maybe eventually down the line will be someone that WWE tries to go get their hands on.
Like
I think Killshot's the only guy right now.
Yeah, after Big, the biggest name is still out there, free agent wise, is Omega, and he's pretty much going to AEW. I think the next person I could see them both trying to go after is Juice Robinson.
Yeah, but Juice has already signed like a 4-year deal, didn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, I feel like they would want to go after Juice.
But I think
Shane Strickland.
Yeah,
we'll still Killshot. It's the same person.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying. Yeah, yes. That's very true. That's very true. That's what Khan wants to avoid with AEW, says Adam Bomb. Progress,
Or just
WXW,
swallowing up
ICW,
talent.
and a few others, and they can buy out other companies as well. Yeah,
I
and
think
that's right.
I think they're also going to try to. So technically, if Marty's with ROH, is Marty with AEW?
Thank you, Red Sox fan.
If Marty Skrull is with ROH still, is he technically with AEW? I feel like he could just walk in and they'll give him everything, but he's still technically with ROH.
ROH is trying to keep him. So
I didn't know that he was kill
shot.
shot when I saw him at the WrestleMania at the Lucha
Yeah, Shane
versus
Strickland
Impact.
was like the big star
And that's
for
who. And I
MLW.
go back,
for a
please
while.
go back to me going and reviewing that Red Sox fan, and I
Ooh,
talked
you know who
about how
else?
great kill shot was.
You know who else I could see them trying to go after? The new
Pentagon?
The Lucha Brothers, definitely. LAX could be another one just because of
Ooh.
all the attention they've been getting, especially in 2018.
Yeah, we
you could
touched on
almost
Don
see half of
Calcio.
Impact's roster
Man,
without
imagine
going
if they
back.
put LAX on NXT and how much they would boost that tag division.
They would, but I think for their personality and style, that's something that could be that AEW would give them more freedom. I feel.
Yes, I agree.
I think
agree.
they're like,
Or else,
like everyone who
or
gets
else they're gonna cut promos in a playing basketball.
Now, if LAX goes to AEW, do you think Conan follows?
Oh, Conan's just gonna latch onto everything. It's Conan.
because they're gonna be because Conan works with all their guys. You know,
AEW.
like even
Yeah, there's gonna be a live AEW event. Conan's gonna be in the crowd handing out cards saying, "Listen to my podcast." Like,
he's also the booker in AAA, so he could definitely help with that relationship too.
Oh God, please don't get Conan involved. It's a booking.
What tag division?
I'm saying,
I mean, come on. You got the Street Profits.
That's what LAX would be. That's what LAX would become. And then there's a Street Profits versus LAX fight over the streets. He's gonna get a kid like the Dixie Cup's gonna get run over in a
No, not the Dixie Cup.
Yeah. No, I think also I think the Hart Dynasty is someone that could go to AEW. The new one, like Davey Boy Smith, what's it called, Pillman Jr. and Teddy Hart. Yeah, I think Pillman is someone that WWE wants to grab.
Basically, if anyone goes through Evolve, WWE has an eye on you. Yeah, that's a good point, Bob Ruski.
Yeah,
now,
like
what about some Impact guys? What about Cage? What about Killer Cross?
Yeah.
What about
I think
Moose?
Cage. I don't think Moose. Sorry, Cage, Cross, LAX.
I could see Moose just because of him and Cody are friends.
Who else? Who else would I throw in there? Probably some of the X Division guys.
What about some women as well? You got Tessa Blanchard, you got Taya, you got.
I think I've always said Tessa.
Rosemary.
I'm surprised. If that contract's binding, I still think Tessa is not long. If that contract's really not as tight.
But she also has another contract with another company too, though. That women's wrestling starting next week.
Well, I think that AEW might need to have to partner with some women wrestlers because if you think about it, they only have Britt Baker and I guess Brandy with her bionic spear, but you basically have nothing. Like, so you need to build that up. You need to build up the women's division as well.
Don't forget, Brandy's the best wrestler in the world according to Brandy. Or Britt is.
Hey, I mean that's the time. Like, bring in a Japanese women's wrestler. Like, bring in like something, and then just start building up that division.
Bob Ruski said David just signed to MLW. Red Sox fan says Mayu Iwatani is the next bidding war with AEW and WWE.
All right. I mean, that's good.
By the way, did you hear the crowd chanting, "Are you watching Vince McMahon during the NXT UK takeover?" Yeah. Yes, we did. And he tweeted out that he is watching it. That was not Vince McMahon. I said his name right, Bob Ruski. I said it right. AEW's going hard after her. Swagger. Nah, Swagger's with Bellator. He's supposed to be having his first match, I believe, any week now, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's in the month of January. I saw it on my Facebook feed that they were promoting it. So he'll be, I don't know about Swagger, but where would the women go? The WWE divisions are going to be dominated by Rousey and Charlotte. They trying to get her off the ROH card in MSG. When does Flip Gordon's contract end, says Bob Ruski. What about Flip Gordon?
Question. There's the big question.
He's on ROH, but Flip.
A little tribute. Is it the Ring Warriors title? Michael Johnson says, "What title does Killer Cross currently hold?" Because Michael Johnson is a big Ring Warriors fan in the chat
I
room.
don't know what that is.
It's a her, not a him. Asshole. The 26 he fights. Thank you, Red Sox fan. Appreciate that.
I mean, can Flip even get booked at AEW? Let's be real.
Now and I'm not saying because I know Red Sox fans are already going to say, "Oh, the WWE guy," but would Flip benefit going to NXT?
No, Flip's a 205. Waiting to happen. AEW would be better for him. You know who else I would actually like to see go to AEW? It's kind of crazy. OVW. I mean, OVE.
OVE.
Yeah.
OVW.
I'm thinking AEW's go Ohio Valley. No. OVE, I think, would be a good tag team to bring in.
With Callahan?
Yeah, bring Callahan. I think they need some heel. They need to start just building up some guys. And look, I know this is like pretty much depleting Impact, but I think they've earned
you know what's going to happen, don't you? And this is what's going to happen. Impact's going to lose all their talent. And breaking news: ROH and Impact have decided to start a working relationship.
They merge.
Impact needs to do something, especially. I mean, ROH. That's why I don't see why they wouldn't do that. Try to have a working relationship because they're the two companies that are in the major red line to me as in come 2020 these guys yeah
Lucha
they might
Underground.
Oh,
I would bring Jeff Cobb into AEW.
That's another guy I didn't mention. Jeff Cobb. Sammy says Red Sox fan. Flip Gordon's contract ends in 2020. And when I said about him going there for NXT, because is he an overall developed already? He doesn't need to work on his craft and anything?
Who, Flip?
Yes.
I think he'd get over. I think he's definitely improved over the year, like adding more to than just flippiness. But
they would cut it down a lot in WWE.
Yeah, I feel like he would. I feel like his style it just screams 205.
And I mean more as like he can cut up good promo, stuff like that. Because you know how NXT is
okay. Hit or miss.
Why would he do that though? Because I don't know why Flip would want to go there, honestly. Because he already knows his friends in AEW. That would just work out better anyway for him.
Adam Baum says, "I'll say it again, Tony. Impact and AEW potential working partnership coming soon." I hope so. We all hope so. It's funny how we went from NXT Takeover to All In. I mean, All Elite Wrestling again.
Can I say something really quick about 205?
Go ahead.
Man, Cedric Alexander is still feeling those kicks that Tommy was laying on him Tuesday or Wednesday night because those were some kicks. Oh my god! And Tommy finally his first championship pay-per-view match since he's been in the WWE.
That's pretty sad.
It is, but finally, three Japanese stars are wrestling for titles at the Royal Rumble.
Bob Ruski says he needs the mic work, but yeah, says Bob about Flip Gordon. Rush is the next guy for AEW, best heel in the biz, says Red Sox fan. What are your thoughts on that, Alex?
Yeah, Rush is awesome. I definitely think they should have some lucha in AEW. Like I said, I just wrote, I think Grand Metalik is someone who'd be like, fuck this, and go there. He's
not going to give up Lucha House Party. Come on.
He posted a poll saying, where would you like to see me go? I think he's given up.
I think Buddy Murphy could do well up in WWE. Yeah, he has potential all the way. By the way, 205 will be back on TX. He beat me to that news. I was going to touch on that.
Buddy would be good at AEW.
205 Live will be back on Tuesday nights again. So no more of that triple lineup.
So Tuesday nights at 10 following SmackDown.
Yeah, when we're live. So please, no spoilers doing 205 Live. And wow, we've hit over 3,200 viewers tonight. Thank you guys. People who are watching but not chatting, and thank you guys for just sitting back and watching, and thank you for all the interaction from everybody tonight. It's been awesome. Y'all just making Alex's head bigger every time he shows up and his outcome happens. Flamita would join AEW. That guy could fly. I think more guys should go and train in New Japan Dojo in LA, says Bobaruski. I agree with you. I work on your craft before you go and sign with these big companies. And I know a lot of people are probably skeptical to work going to NXT now, seeing that guys like Keith Lee, guys like Riddle haven't been used since they've been debuted. So I can see why other people may not, jump to NXT anymore. If only Bandito didn't sign to ROH early. Yeah. That's another guy that I heard AEW was going after as well. So NXT TakeOver
2020
is pretty much shaping up. Your thoughts on the card?
I don't know.
Are you excited for NXT TakeOver, Alex and Dave? What do you guys think?
I don't know what the card is.
So it's Ciampa versus.
Because we didn't really cover it.
Yeah, it's Ciampa versus Black, Gargano versus Gargano versus Ricochet. I think it's Undisputed Era versus War Raiders.
Yes.
Baszler versus.
Is that happening?
Yeah,
yes.
Baszler versus.
I know what happened last night.
And I guess like the fifth match is going to be a Riddle match. I don't know.
Jesus.
Those matches though were so predictable in NXT this week because it's like, okay, Nikki Cross, he's losing. EC3, he's losing. I mean, it was just obvious what was happening.
Yeah. The main event is lackluster as fuck, says Red Sox fan.
Yeah, I just skipped through most of NXT. I know what happened, but
also just to say this, check out Leonard Asper's Twitter replies from yesterday, and you'll see some good stuff. Okay, Audenbaum, appreciate that. Audenbaum is always the deep insider for our show, so we always appreciate him coming in here. And thank you guys for the moderators in the chat room moderating the chat. Appreciate y'all busting out these trolls. So let's get into some WWE news to kind of wrap up tonight. We've already gone over a little over an hour, almost 2 hours now. We've hit over 3,200 viewers. Again, thank you guys for sharing the product. And if you're new to the show, please hit that follow button. We'd really appreciate that. And also, if you haven't already, jump over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 150 followers by WrestleMania. Would really appreciate you guys doing that for us. No one cares for the Street Profits, says Red Sox fan. Can I ask what the fuck is going on with Samoa Joe? Now he's a part to get over other guys' way to ruin him. Yeah. What do you think about that, Alex?
Oh, I've said it for a while. Joe is just – it's clear that they don't really see a big-time role in terms of a main title for him. At this point, I'll be happy if he just becomes a U.S. or IC championship. I mean, they really don't have anything for Joe big time.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Adam Baum. Also, the other insiders is Red Sox fan and Bob Ruski. They really keep us, or at least me, informed about all this independent stuff going on. Bob Ruski is a guy that never sleeps as well, so he's very entertaining on Twitter when he's watching all these live wrestling events throughout the night. What about you, Dave? Any thoughts on Samoa Joe before we get to some wrestling WWE news, which is not a lot, surprisingly?
I got thoughts on Samoa Joe and all those other TNA guys. They need to leave because, yes, Rude's a champion for now, but, I mean, it's not going to last. But Joe especially, he needs to leave.
Rude's just a guy with a robe and a title.
Yep. Can you imagine Joe? I mean, another one of the AEW guys who talk about showing up. I know how long his contract is, but, man, can you imagine Joe showing up in AEW? Man.
Yeah, that would be another big signing for them if that would ever happen. Yes,
but Joe's floundering.
Red Sox fan.
Nothing.
And an update on the future of New Japan IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega. The latest word from the Wrestling Observer is that Omega has turned down the offer that was made to him from WWE. As of right now, he is expected to sign with All Elite Wrestling. So there you go.
Just like everyone else.
Yep, that's whatever. Gable don't belong with Rude. Yes, let Joe and Bray leave. Yes, Bray Wyatt. My God, what the fuck's happened to Bray
Wyatt? Can you
Wyatt?
imagine him and Cody again together on the Indies?
Bray, gotta leave, man.
WWE
considering new plans for major WrestleMania 35 match. So are you ready, guys?
Oh, I know that.
There was
just the rumor card.
Rousey versus Charlotte Flair would take place at this month's Royal Rumble and Ronda versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 35. However, that has changed. On Monday Night Raw, Sasha Banks was thrown into the mix and booked as Rousey's opponent for the Royal Rumble, with speculation suggesting that Ronda versus Charlotte will now take place at Elimination Chamber. Dave Meltzer, everyone's favorite of the Wrestling Observer, also revealed WWE could now be building towards a triple threat between Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky at WrestleMania. It will be interesting to see where creative goes with this match. As always, the build toward WrestleMania is always subject to change. Your thoughts on this, Alex?
Well, of course, Charlotte has to be in the main event.
Right.
No, I mean, look, I'm happy that Sasha. I'm excited for Sasha and Rousey, even though we know Rousey's going to win. It's just good to see Sasha hopefully get a chance to show why she's the boss, and like every year, hope for a better year for her. But with Becky, Charlotte, and Rousey, I preferred if it was like Rousey versus Charlotte at Elimination Chamber, just Becky versus Rousey, 1-on-1. It's the main event. You have the hottest act in WWE right now, and you have Rousey, who's been undefeated and built. Like, why not just keep it 1-on-1? But I see why they want Charlotte in the main event. Because even though like I complain because of her booking, like she's gonna be there for the fun spots with the moonsaults, and she can go in that ring. There's no question about it. So, it does sound like it could happen.
Red Sox fan says Charlotte is a 7-time women's champ in the span of 3 years. Wow, yeah.
Do you think they do some craziness like they do a Royal Rumble ending with Charlotte and Becky eliminating each other
at the same time? Yeah, I could see that. Now, here's my question for you. Now, probably the odds of them main eventing with Rousey. I know there's already been speculation of Rousey main eventing WrestleMania. Now, maybe Becky and Ronda is not a main event material match in their opinion. But what if it's a triple threat? Do you think it has a better chance of main eventing WrestleMania this year?
I think either or it's going to main event. I really do think the Rousey match, regardless, is going to main event.
Okay, what about you, Dave? I didn't see what Meltzer said about Becky, Red Sox fan.
Well, the rumored card is that's the main event. It's going to be like Becky Lynch versus Charlotte versus Ronda. I think what's going to end up happening at the Rumble is Ronda's going to do the whole make an example out of Becky Lynch to kind of make it a call shot. This is one of your best friends. I'm going to break her arm or whatever type thing. So I think that's what this whole thing is a setup to. Because them doing this whole 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen.
Yeah, I can see like what if
it's going to build up to that.
What if Baszler gets called up and then like Rousey turns heel and beat her and Baszler beat down Becky?
Or Sasha.
Yeah.
No, not Adam Bomb. Ron, I know that you called it back a couple of months ago. Red Sox fan says Meltzer said that she's not moving anything for WWE, no merch, no ratings, just a pop on TV. Talking about Becky Lynch.
Oh, I hope you about Rob.
What do you think about that, Alex? Do you think they kind of do you think that means anything, or?
I mean, I'd be surprised to hear that because she's getting so much mainstream attention. That kind of sucks if it doesn't, but I still think she's the hottest thing, like to put in the act.
Yeah, Joe Domini, we're touching on the Dean Ambrose and the cell phone footage that's going around. We were touching on that before the show started.
Quick, you know what? Really quick though. I mean, let's be real. Who doesn't want to see? I'm sorry. Raise your hand if you'd rather see Sasha. Maybe people might say they want to see Sasha and Ronda. I mean, good for you. Congrats. But I'm more interested in seeing Becky Lynch versus Asuka. I'm sorry. You can have Ronda and the boss. Give me Becky and Asuka.
Oh yeah, that should definitely be the better match out of the 2 women's matches. Tony, you don't have to lie. You can say it. Yeah, but she's not doing anything, says Red Sox fan. Becky is no Stone Cold. That is for damn sure. Absolutely not. Whoever compares her to Stone Cold, you should just slap him in the face, honestly. So a quick update on Kevin Owens and
Eric
Sami
Bischoff?
Zayn. Yeah, silly. Come on, Eric.
So he wants to slap Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, if you have the chance to, go ahead. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, they're probably not going to be back until February, I would guess. Maybe they'll be back a little earlier, says Brian Alvarez, another one of the favorites on the show. But when they were making all their announcement, that was just something else they could tell the fans. Change is coming, but it's not like they're coming back next week. So there you go. So possibly see them before WrestleMania, hopefully. I'm not interested in either match, if I'm being honest. I don't care for Becky, says Red Sox fan. Damn. A lot of non-Becky fans in here. Seems like a lot of people are more annoyed with Becky now with the Twitter and the whole the man stuff. Seems like a lot of people are kind of annoyed by her now.
You know, it's fickle fans. It really is.
Fickle.
First they love her, then they hate her. I mean, when she's not getting pushed or being used right, they love Becky Lynch. But when she is being pushed and getting her spot finally, what she deserves, they hate her because now the WWE's behind her.
Makes it impossible to book long-term things.
Exactly, because if you start building somebody, then they hate them. Just like people like to forget when Batista won the Rumble, half the wrestling fans were pissed off and saying, "Why didn't you let Roman Reigns win that Rumble?"
Where the fuck was Daniel Bryan?
No, that was a big thing.
Oh, when Daniel Bryan wasn't in the Rumble, that was bad. The crowd.
Oh, and they booed Rey Mysterio.
They booed everything.
Red Sox fan says it's overplayed now. The whole man stuff. What are your thoughts on that, Alex?
I think once she finishes WrestleMania, I definitely think she needs to now start to like just capitalize and tone back on everything. But I think people turning on her now is just hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny because to me it's like we said, fickle fans, and she's playing a character. I mean, what's the difference in what character she's playing right now on TV? It's no different than anyone else. It's no different than like Ciampa not breaking character.
Let's see. Adam Bomb says, I'm enjoying Becky. It's just a case of the matches not being interesting to me.
Really? Asuka and Becky Lynch is not interesting?
Yeah, he's not. He said he even said in the comments that he's not interested in any of the women's matches at the Royal Rumble.
I'm definitely not interested in Asuka or Shawanda.
I'm interested in that just to see how they'll do.
Red Sox fan says the go home for Survivor Series was the only badass stuff from her, meaning Becky Lynch. That's when she got busted open, and that was the start of the man stuff, and that's the start of the comparison of Stone Cold.
That's not true though. The man stuff happened before her face got broken open or broke.
So other news that were going around WWE was Lars Sullivan.
Oh boy.
Lars Sullivan was recently announced to be called up to the main roster, and Creative has major plans for him on the Raw brand, but things haven't gone to plan, and everything regarding his push is up in the air right now. According to everyone's favorite Dave Meltzer, is reporting that Sullivan versus John Cena at WrestleMania 35 is under consideration, but Sullivan has yet to debut on the main roster as was planned for Raw this week. Likely a dark match because he was reportedly suffering from an anxiety attack. Sullivan was then again booked for a dark match prior to SmackDown Live, but didn't show up and flew back home to Colorado. What are your thoughts on this, Alex? I know you know probably more about anxiety attacks than anyone on the show. Your thoughts on this, and how serious could this be for Lars Sullivan?
Yeah, I mean, the anxiety, if this is true, like the anxiety attack part, that sucks. Like, anxieties, like I know there's a lot of people that suffer from it. It can be very debilitating. So yeah, it sucks that that's what he's going through. So all the best. I hope he gets the support and talk that they need for that. Now, with that said, we kind of treat it like injury. I kind of see like an injury, right? Like you're getting a push, people aren't high on you, then you get injured. You come back, you get injured again, and it's more so that now the terms like unreliable start to come up, So kind of like this, like, yes, the anxiety attacks again, it sucks that he's going through that, but from the WWE side, like, hey, we're about to put a lot of stock into you, and like, what if this is like a main event match or a big pay-per-view match or the WrestleMania match, and this happens, like, can we depend on you? So we'll see. I mean, personally, even before knowing about that, I was not excited for John Cena versus Lars at WrestleMania. I'd much rather see John versus Drew McIntyre.
No, yeah, you would have to think it's pretty weird, man. And I'm sure the pressure of being on the main roster is a lot heavier than it is on NXT because he's performed in front of huge crowds. I mean, he even had a title match at a takeover, so you would assume that he's been through it all with these live crowds. But I'm sure with the pressure of Vince and being on the main roster and not wanting to fail, I'm sure, it's a lot to hold. It's a lot to, take on for someone like him. Now, do you think we see this match, or do you think we see Lars in a role on Raw, or do you think this is going to kind of hold him back?
I still think it's pretty early to count it out. If this is true, then maybe they will change it. But I still think there's a chance it could happen. So we've got time.
What about you, Dave? Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I got a little bit. People are all comparing it to the wrestling thing of the anxiety. It could not even have anything to do with it, because anxiety, it could not be just from the pressure of what's going on there, but it could be something else.
Yeah.
Too. And anxiety is not just about, it's too much pressure. If you've ever had an anxiety attack before, sometimes it's like an out of body experience, because you're out of yourself, you're jumping out of your skin. And sometimes you feel like you're dying. That's how bad it can seriously get. And so I can understand what he's talking about and why he would flip out and take off, because he's freaking out. It could be something else completely. So it might not be the pressure of wrestling. It could be something completely else too.
Yep, exactly. Also, the shit that was leaked about him adds to it. What was that? What was leaked about Lars Sullivan?
I think what he said about on a forum years when he was younger. I don't
know. Right. That's right. Was it racist comments or
something about racist and rape? I don't know.
Rape. It was rape. Too
many R's.
Yeah, that's good point there, Bobaruski. That's very true. And yeah. So best of luck to Lars Sullivan. We do hope he kicks out of this, because he is an entertaining big man. Maybe we don't want to see him face John Cena, but he has potential on the main roster. What is the channel number for Impact News Channel on DirecTV? I wouldn't have no idea. Just Google it and you'll see it. I wouldn't push Lars off the bat. I wouldn't either. But yeah, that's pretty much all the wrestling news. What's up, Budweiser? Welcome to the show. I didn't even see you pop in. Periscope's acting funny tonight, where I can't see everybody who I follow in the show, and that's pretty much half of everybody in here. And for some reason, it's not working. And he called Jeff Hardy names. Really? I didn't know about that. Oh, thank you for the Super Hearts, Budweiser. Appreciate that. So yeah, next couple of like a junkie or something. Oh wow, that's not nice. So next weekend, any wrestling events going down?
Takeover and Rumbles in 2 weeks, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
No. 2 weeks.
Funny thing is, I'm going to a WWE live event, everybody, next Friday. So I might be not tweeting, periscoping that, not from this channel, but from the Get the Tables Periscope. So if it's on, it'll be on our Twitter. And if you haven't already, go follow us at the Get the Tables on Periscope as well. Sometimes when I go to live events and pay-per-views, I will Periscope from that. So we'll be there live next Friday. The wife and I are going. And the scheduled main event, I believe, is hopefully it's changed up, since there was Braun Strowman and Corbin and Rollins and Ambrose and all this shit. So maybe
subject to change.
Right. Maybe we see a title change happen before. I mean, at Raw. So we'll see. Hell, I can honestly say that there was a time where I couldn't bring myself to breathe due to a situation. That sucks, man.
Oh, Tony.
Anything in San Antonio is bad, says Red Sox fan. Fuck you. Yes, sir.
I just read it myself. Trevor Lee announced he's signing with the WWE.
All right, everybody. Come on. That's some exciting news. I'm going to have to tweet to Trevor Lee for
breaking news.
You're welcome, Matt.
There you go.
6 months in the future. Trevor Lee unhappy with WWE.
No, I know Trevor Lee's not a huge name.
He's going to be in a stable with Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch.
But do you think they show him in the crowd on Royal Rumble Takeover?
So is his face recovered yet?
Hey, all right. We don't want to mention the shit Killer Cross did, that asshole to Trevor Lee. All right.
That was funny.
The ghost of
Did
Trevor
you see this,
Lee.
Alex?
Yeah, the ghost of Trevor Lee has signed with WWE.
Man.
He freaking
get out of here with Sox fan.
They're all like, Trevor Lee hasn't been seen since.
And he won't be for a while.
Yeah, we saw that DX talking about Dean Ambrose saving Renee Young's cell phone during that no DQ match. That's the clip's been going around and around and around. That was pretty cool though. 205 Lee
This week
says WC
on
Miller.
205 Live.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
This week on 205 Live.
He's gonna be in the House of Hardy segments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We kind of knew about the rumblings of Trevor Lee to WWE.
Oh,
kind of
Tony.
like a month ago. Uh-oh. Yes, sir.
What if he's in the new Wyatt family?
Ooh. I can
the
deal
new
with
Hardy.
that.
What if he's Bray's new partner because Matt can't go?
Yeah, look at it. Look at his look. He could fit a Wyatt family.
I just hope they have. I'm sure it's too early to tell, but I do hope they have some plans for him because we all know how talented Trevor Lee is. He last couple of months on Impact was kind of treated like a jobber, in my opinion, losing every fucking match he was in. But this guy has a lot of talent and could strive on 205 Live, sure, on NXT. I don't see him getting jumped to the main roster, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do with Trevor Lee.
I don't see 205 Live would be perfect. I think Andrew Everett would have been perfect in 205 Live. That dude's a Skywalker.
Oh, DJ Z as well. He would be another guy that would be awesome on 205 Live.
I agree, but to me, Andrew Everett was the star of that group because, man, he could do some crazy crap.
Adam Bomb, we're not going to even – he is a jobber. See, look at this shit. I love all of my favorites are all either shitty wrestlers or jobbers. Y'all are something else, man. Y'all are something else. He's the second coming of Shane Helms.
Ouch.
It sucks, man. Oh, I hope he proves
Super
it
Shane or
all,
3
man.
count? Wait, is it 3 count Shane?
Caleb Carter.
Whoa, God. I think we should end it on that note.
Yeah, we're gonna end it on that.
Yeah, let's end it with some 3 count music.
Y'all are funny, guys. Y'all are funny. It would remind me as a Kidman in Raven's Flock. Yeah, so could Big Show, but that's not saying much. That's truth and loyalty. Oh, man, y'all are funny. Great show tonight, man. We ain't wrong, says Bob Ruski. Y'all are totally wrong on this, man. Trevor Lee's going to come in there and prove all of you motherfuckers wrong. And yeah, I called y'all the F word because y'all are making me angry. I don't like what y'all saying about Trevor Lee.
Trevor Lee versus Brock, WrestleMania. There you go.
There you go. I see. I like that. Even though he'd probably
somebody called us MFers. Some attitude followers.
Or they lose their smile. You can't forget that. Y'all are assholes.
Or he has a fake knee injury.
Fake knee injury.
Then he's hopping around the ring 2 seconds later.
Yeah, y'all are just rude. Y'all are just rude. All right, so we'll be back with you guys on Tuesday night, recapping Raw and SmackDown Live, getting you kind of ready for Royal Rumble, which is in 2 weeks.
Holy crap, Super Bowl's in 3 weeks.
Yeah, so we're thankful for everybody joining us tonight. I know there was some playoff games going on while we were live, so we do appreciate everybody popping in here and interacting with us tonight. It's very awesome with what you guys do every night with the interaction. It's fun. I know you guys troll me a lot, talk shit, but it's all entertainment and we all love you here. You make us angry. Look at the sports teams you're a fan of, man. 6 months later, we told you so. Man, y'all are. Oh God, who the fuck gives a crap about the Bucks? Who? I'm just gonna keep quiet. So, Alex, will you be joining us for possibly Royal Rumble?
Oh yeah, I will definitely try to.
All right. So remember, 2 weeks from now, we will be live for Takeover and live for Royal Rumble. I'm thinking about trying to take in some phone calls on that Royal Rumble evening. So if you guys are interested in calling in and giving your thoughts on the Royal Rumble and who wins it, definitely would love to hear from you guys. Also, again, a quick thank you for all the people who have supported this show. Because of you guys, we will be having shirts made and out very, very soon. I can't wait to show you guys the ending product when it's finally emailed to me. So hopefully you guys can get a little sneak peek and we'll probably be selling them very, very cheap and possibly doing some giveaways with them as well. So hopefully you guys will be interested. And then, Tony, quick question. Why the fuck Charlotte and HBK was in the UK Performance Center? Because HBK works with the NXT wrestlers, asshole. All right?
That's why. Have the whole head sitting in the crowd.
And Charlotte, I don't know why the hell Charlotte was there.
I know, right? I was like, what the fuck? Where's
I can totally understand why Shawn Michaels was there. So you just need to calm down, Red Sox.
Yeah, because he follows Triple H wherever he goes. But seriously, Becky Lynch should have been there, not Charlotte.
Someone else instead of Charlotte. But, it's Charlotte has that big name. So, again, thank you guys for following. If you're new to the show, for following and subscribing to the YouTube channel. That's all our Twitter handles right there if you're interested in following us. Again, thank you so much for the support you guys give us on a nightly basis. We'll be back with you guys on Tuesday. A lot of great interacting tonight. Over 3,700 views, man. Unreal. Thank you very much for sharing and all that stuff. So any last words, Alex, before we see you possibly next weekend?
No, I mean, let's hope that Raw is, as always, hopefully decent.
Yeah, that's all we can really hope for. I'll be doing another card opening, everybody. I bought 2 boxes of cards, wrestling cards. So I'll probably maybe do that Sunday or sometime this week. So keep a lookout on my Twitter account. I'll let you guys know before I go live and do that. Dave, Tuesday night. Any last words before Tuesday?
I'll enjoy some football and see you guys Tuesday. Not looking forward to Raw and SmackDown.
Michael, appreciate that compliment, man. Yeah, because Alex returned. There you go, Alex. Make his head even bigger now.
Right.
Raw will be in Memphis on Monday. Oh, maybe we'll see Mr. Jerry the King Lawler there. Again, thank you guys so very much. We're gonna end tonight with some Pete Dunne and Truth and Loyalty and Jeffrey Cross. Hopefully, you guys get y'all's prize. Hopefully by Monday, since Peck and Rod got his in the mail. Hopefully, you guys will get y'all's very soon. Again, appreciate everyone's support. Yes, Dave.
One time we got to get some West Texas rednecks on here.
When the time comes and if it makes sense, we will do it. I wish we were finishing with some HBK shit, but I don't want to troll you guys tonight. So, again, thank you guys so much for the show. We will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great rest of your weekend because we want to see you on Tuesday, everybody. Thank you guys so much for the support, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Peace.